Hello, I'm Daniel Bloodworth. We're Easy Allies, and this is the Easy Allies podcast. This week I'm joined by Michael Huber.
$699 US.
What?
$699 US.
Damiani said it's 5,000. What do you mean?
Oh, if you try and buy the 30th anniversary edition on eBay, if you missed out on the limited edition run on PlayStation Direct, but was that bundle was $1,200 even on PlayStation Direct?
I never even saw what that.
But I mean, included DualSense, Dual Edge, a few other things, but $1,200. Yeah, and people are still angry they didn't get it. So hey, okay.
All right.
Wow.
I got a controller at least 3 hours after they all sold out on PlayStation Direct. So thank you, Sony, for doing your system that prevents most scalpers from getting stuff, I guess. I don't know. I guess I got lucky.
There's whole businesses about buying bots. It's ridiculous.
Damian, can you get me a 3090?
A 3090?
Wait, a 3090?
Yeah, it's the best card
the
my
old
ones?
No.
Do.
Oh, aren't those like easy to get right now? Because the 40s.
$1,000.
I mean, that's not going to change. The NVIDIA CEO said the days of expecting like discounts as generations go on are over.
Okay.
And so they're just going to keep raising prices of the new cards higher than they were before. Like, so each new series is expected to be more expensive than the previous, and the previous ones won't go down in price.
I'll get Don's guys to steal me one.
It's because they're drowning in AI money. But yeah.
I mean, look at them. What is their market value? Like, they're bigger than Microsoft. They're huge. Like the biggest. Yeah.
Yeah. Making it all happen in the control room. Isla Hank.
$579 US. That's how much the Remarkable Pro costs. The e-ink tablet. It's got color and a reading light now.
Nice.
Very, very excited.
Does Don have any prices to shout out?
Don, do you have a price to shout out?
12,000 Australian dollars. What are Australian dollars?
What do
What?
Australian dollars cost?
1,200 Australian dollars.
He says 1,200 Australian dollars.
All right. Gabby, what's your price?
8,000 yen.
8,000 yen.
Nice.
All right. Who won the Price is Right?
$8 even.
Friends, we are here to talk about what's new, what's news, and what we've been playing. A lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff happening this week. We've got highlights from that state of play that just came out of nowhere. We've got some highlights from Xbox's Tokyo Game Show presentation. We got some games, talking about What the Car, talking about Shadows of Doubt, talking about Final Fantasy 16 on PC, and talking about top 10 schools that were submitted by our patrons.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Where should we raise our kids, patrons?
Yeah. Where am I moving
Where are we
to?
moving to? Where are we raising
What
these
school
kids?
district?
Oh dear
Huber and I
Lord!
are
Here we
pregnant.
go.
Where are we moving?
What school district?
But yeah, let's start with this PlayStation and the big drop at the end. Ghost of Yotei.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Oh hell yeah!
Sweet.
Yeah, we finally got the reveal for Sucker Punch's sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, and it is not quite what we expected.
No, I am shocked and stunned. I'm stunned. I didn't know. I just didn't have it even on my bingo card whatsoever that we would have hundreds of years later different protagonist. Because as Gabby and I were discussing, Jin Sakai's story is unfinished. In my mind, and in her mind as
What's
well.
interesting is I've
There's
seen
more
this
there.
split among other people, like commenting and stuff. Like, there are people that were like me, was like, didn't it pretty much wrap up? And there are other people like, no, there's so much. They were just getting started.
Yeah,
like,
that's
okay.
what it feels like. So that's why I was shocked. But this is awesome, and I know we haven't seen the last of Jin.
Sure.
Whether that's like an anime or a movie
That's
or
a
a
thing
secret level
that's
episode
happening.
or a big standalone DLC Iki Island style that focuses on Jin. I mean, this is Ghost of Tsushima was supported.
I don't know, Huber. I don't know. I heard on the internet that men are just being replaced in all video games.
I know.
what
We'll
I've
get into
heard.
it, I'm sure.
We don't need
Blood
to
will not let us get into that.
Oh, my God.
It's
just like immediate.
It's just dumb. Whatever.
It's honestly not even worth wasting breath over, because like
I agree.
these people are insane, and like why even give them any power whatsoever? Just ignore them and hopefully they'll go away, or just talk amongst themselves. because I don't give a shit what they have to say whatsoever. It looks super good from what I've seen, but it's funny to announce a sequel in an entirely different time period, entirely different protagonist. So it's like usually when you get a sequel, it's like you have that familiarity, like, oh, we're Jin again. Oh, what are we doing? What's he up to? And it's like, okay, it's almost like we're starting from the beginning again.
Right.
So, yeah.
I am curious if he will be in some kind of flashback chapter or something like that. Like who knows? Like, is she like a descendant of his potentially?
I know. I was thinking the other day, it's like, is this Assassin's Creed now? You know, the Jin, the ghost, passing on the ghost creed all the way.
Yeah.
You know, like who knows?
I don't think it has to be any of that.
Yeah.
But here, I did a rewatch of this a day later, and some things that really kind of stuck out to me that like it was there, but like just didn't sink in. Like watching it live and on a stream and everything, is that like okay. Them talking about this region that they're in, Yotei, this mountain, this area, the northern area, but it's not actually Japan yet. Like it is north of the border.
Yeah.
And what they say right at the beginning, this guy that she's essentially fighting, or has just finished fighting, is about to finish off. Like this is a land where the Ronin come to flee Japan.
Sick.
And she is there to hunt them down.
Hell yeah, dude. Clearly killed her family or something, obviously.
Maybe. Like, is she for revenge or is she a bounty hunter? Or like,
100% revenge.
She? Yeah.
100.
And
like the hat has the cut through it. I wonder if it's like her hat from a duel or like her brother or dad's hat who like lost in a duel, you know? It's just like...
Right. But it has that sort of... that Wild West kind of a vibe.
I was going to say the Wild East, but absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and if you listen to the music again, it's like, oh, like they're playing Japanese instruments, but it actually sounds kind of like a Western.
Yeah.
So they are kind of playing it up. It's interesting.
Definitely picked up on that.
My 3 key takeaways from gameplay was obviously 2 swords, dual wielding.
Hell yeah.
Which is friggin' awesome. The wolf, guaranteed your companion. Guaranteed you are either controlling this wolf dead to rights style at some points, or you can use it to distract or sick him, Torgal.
I don't know about that because in the trailer it does the wind guidance thing while the wolf is there, and then she starts following the wolf. So it felt to me like it's one of the like nature companions that lead you to stuff.
I think that might be something the wolf can do,
the
but I don't
wolf.
think
Well,
that's
maybe
the
it's
full
both.
extent.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
For sure. Yeah, the wolf seems to be, prominently featured in this trailer, so I imagine
very
it is.
prominent.
Yeah. And then...
Is that a wolf on her hilt, too? I think it might be like 2 wolves circling around the blade.
Yeah. Yes. And I lost my train of thought, but go on.
Yeah, anyway, so what else is there? They said, we kind of talked about this, but they're focusing on the idea of the ghost rather than the specific character.
The legend.
And then, it's just how gorgeous this game looks that like,
Oh yeah.
but you can also tell that like we're definitely
Oh, that was it.
getting into the era of you cannot see how good a game looks in a video anymore.
You can't. You have to be in person.
Because
it's
the
impossible.
compression just kills all of these little particles and details. And things.
Just stop showing games altogether online. Like, just invite everyone in person. Like, have like satellite events all across the world. Yeah, seriously.
Damiani,
the instrument was the last point.
Yes.
I think that's
with
going to
Sharpson.
replace the haikus. I was saying that during the announcement.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, clearly you go to spots and you'll probably play that or something. Obviously a huge gameplay element because it's, prominently featured again in this trailer.
Yeah. I forgot what else.
Damiani was
going
going to say something.
Yeah.
No, but that was you were said my name. I thought you were about to ask me something. I wasn't.
Let's just
But
have
I
Dom
mean-
say something.
Yeah, let's just have someone else say something. No, I agree. Like, even though it said it was running on PlayStation 5, I was like, dang, this looks like, maybe it might look
Showpiece.
like it's on Pro. Just because they're just so talented at Sucker Punch. That looks so breathtaking.
Yeah.
And, as you said, showpiece. It's going to look amazing. And if that is base PS5, yeah, that thing is going to look freaking amazing on Pro and PC when it comes to like PC at some point.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love this concept of, I get some people were very invested in Jin and might have felt that there was more to tell, but I really like this concept of it's a kind of style of game. We still are expecting the same types of things going into this, like a lot of similarities from Ghost of Tsushima as well in here, but it's a new setting, a new tale. There's no real, it feels like you didn't need to play Ghost of Tsushima
hop
to
right
jump
in.
into this. So I think this is a very smart approach, and I really like what they're doing here. And I didn't finish Ghost of Tsushima. I played like through 2/3 of it, and I was like, "Damn, it's so good." But like, I was like, "I'm kind of good." Like, I wish I'd finished it, but I moved on to other stuff, and now I'm like, I just want to jump into this. I mean, I'd probably go back and finish my Ghost of Tsushima playthrough, but in case I don't want to feel like I'm penalized going into Yotei and being like, "Damn, it's a direct sequel. Like, shit, I need to go play this." Now it's like, no, you don't.
Hop right in, Assassin's Creed style, yeah.
Also, yeah, and like I think it gives them some more liberties too. Like you don't have to like make up weird story reasons for like why new stuff is there. I think the time skip also potentially allows like new gameplay mechanics possibly because it's like what 300 something. Yeah, we saw guns. Like how many hundred years of technological advancement have we had? So it's like what could we see now? And yeah, that looks sick. And also obviously stuff like samurai battles and ninja battles and snowman.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so awesome.
Yeah, dude.
I remember Damiani. The thing I was going to ask you is it just kind of aside because of the video quality thing, but remember at GT, when we were at GT, there's always, I forget the name of there's some other site where people would like always download like the full like uncompressed files.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
the huge
Oh,
files.
yeah.
There's some other person, I forget who it was, that would upload those.
I
Yeah.
what it was called now. Dang, yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
Old school.
We'll keep moving on though, because there's a lot to get through. But the one other thing I wanted to say about Ghost of Yotei was that the moving on. I feel we kind of got into this with Astrobot a bit last week. People were like kind of grumpy and mad that like Sony has abandoned all of these franchises, right? It's like, why aren't we using this? Why aren't we doing this? And I'm just like,
This take makes me laugh.
I honestly like really appreciate this willingness to move on from Jin Sakai and not being like tied down to, oh, this is what's popular, this is what's guaranteed to make the money. And you know, like if you go back, it's like, okay, like we would love to have some more Sly Cooper games.
Yeah.
But if Sucker Punch had kept making Sly Cooper games, we wouldn't have gotten Infamous.
Exactly.
If they had kept making Infamous, we wouldn't have gotten Ghost of Tsushima.
Exactly.
So it's like,
If Naughty Dog only made Uncharted, we wouldn't have got Last of Us.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
so it's like you got to kind of like let the creatives do what they're gonna do and not just
Exactly.
always like push.
We always talk about that with
the
remasters.
merchandising and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, we always talk about that with remasters and remakes. It's like you need someone to spearhead that. You have to have somebody passionate enough to want to lead that charge, and then you have to have somebody financially support that passion and charge. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot
the
behind the
difference
scenes.
between a Silent Hill collection and the Mass Effect trilogy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Next up, Huber, Alan Wake 2, The Lake House.
I'm so ready.
I don't have to say anything.
I'm so ready. The Night Springs DLC was awesome, but it definitely felt like a smaller one waiting for the big one.
Side story.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and this is the big one, the mother load. I am really hoping that this is more than just a story DLC. I want this to be like a roguelite or something. You know what I mean? Like that type of difference between the main game. I just don't want this to be an extra little thing for the main game. I want it to be its own unique game in a way. Just hearing, Sam Lake was tweeting about it, just talking about how, everyone was working hard on like different. He's like, there's a lot of different things in this DLC versus the main game, and that's what I want to see more of. I want to see, I just want to see him take a big swing for Alan Wake. Because I think if it's just more, just a little extra story content, like that's cool. I won't complain. I'll love that. But I think the fact that it is this FBC facility just opens up the door to like limitless possibilities.
Yeah.
And I would love for the space itself. It of course is a character. It's FBC. You've played Control. The building is a character. But I want it to be more than that. I want it to be like, this building is like just this completely unique way to play Alan Wake. So
The island.
Yeah.
The island demands it.
was Ramirez.
It was
Ramirez.
I'm just ready for whatever they've got, really.
Yeah, because even Night Springs, right? The one where you play as Rose, it was this like action-packed, insane, just like run and gun style. It almost felt like Resident Evil 4 vibes.
Right.
And like there were 3 of those. They each felt a little different from each other. So I just really like when the Remedy universe takes really weird swings that you don't expect.
Yeah.
So.
But I think the difference being that, like, with Night Springs, like, oh, these are TV episodes. They're
Yes.
not the actual characters or the actors that play the characters
Totally.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And so with this, it's like, oh, okay, this is actually like a new piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I love it too because, going into Alan Wake 2, we all knew like Remedy Universe, references to Control, whatever. But like this DLC honestly feels like a sequel to Control and Alan Wake 2, which is one of the most exciting things you could ask for.
Yeah.
To kind of like be this bridge between not only what comes next, but between those older games, between Control and Alan Wake 2, just tying the past and the future together. I have the highest expectations for this. Like I am treating this like friggin' Goaty Watch, dude. Like, yeah, maybe I need to tone it down a bit, but I am ready.
Nice.
Huber.
Yeah.
Can I play this standalone, or do I have to have played?
You can always.
rest of
That's the
Alan
beauty
Wake
of
2?
the Remedy universe.
Because if I'm just like in Control,
Yeah.
I know I'm not gonna get everything,
Yeah.
but if I'm play Control, love it, and it's like, dude,
100%.
you said something with Control on this. Can I just jump into this?
100%. I believe that. You get way more out of it if you're caught up on the full Remedy universe, but each game tells its own.
But I mean, this is a
story.
DLC. I think I'm not sure exactly what Damiani's asking.
Yeah,
I think
I
you
mean,
have to buy Alan Wake 2 and have the deluxe edition to get this.
Yeah. To be fair though, they only ever briefly mention this place in the base game Alan Wake 2. Ever. It's
I'm
always
saying
just like slightly alluded
Let
to.
him ask.
Yeah, if you're a huge like Control fan and that's what you like more, and maybe just not into Alan Wake, you're willing to buy Alan Wake 2 and get the DLC just to play this DLC. Like that's what I meant.
Yeah,
like it's possible to do. It's possible to do that, right?
It'd be hardcore.
Plus you're supporting
Yeah.
Remedy, and you're supporting that. It's like you want them to keep making these games, and
Speaking my language.
I don't know. Also, it's also just smart because if you aren't really an Alan Wake, but you're in Control, it's like. Because you kind of have to get it, you're probably gonna likely try out Alan Wake 2, right? Like I'll just play 5 minutes, see what it's like, and if you get hooked, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's besides building this metaverse, it's kind of this lore behind it. I think it's smart just to get people in the door.
I agree.
To try Alan Wake and sell them on this larger concept.
For sure.
That's all.
Yeah. I like that.
Nice.
What do you think, Isla? You ready for this?
Hell yeah. I'm in the similar boat because it's like I watched Alan Wake 2 after stopping playing it halfway through, and I've played some of the other DLCs, but I love Jesse Faden and I love Control. So I was thinking about either just putting it on one hit kill enemy mode and breezing through the game to get to this, or just skipping everything and going to this.
Yeah.
Right.
It definitely looks like pretty standalone. We don't even know who we're gonna play as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we gonna play as Jesse?
Yeah, I
It
don't
seems
know.
like we might play as Jesse, but it also. But then it's the question is well, is it going to play like Alan Wake, or is it going to play like Control?
Yeah, if
that
we're-
would be weird, right?
Exactly. If we're
Right, can
Jesse,
she
we need to be
still-
flying
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very different game play. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in no matter what. I love Remedy and I support Remedy. Even when I don't exactly click with the gameplay of the Alan Wake games or whatever, I still love everything they're doing, and the vibe is so perfect, So it's like I'm all in and I'll buy them. So whatever.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hyped.
Huber,
Yeah.
one that I did not think really like showed well or sell itself well in the state of play,
Oh, geez.
but I'm reading about it and I'm like, this might actually be cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is Hell Is Us.
Hell is us.
And Hubert, first off,
Hell is us.
the head of the studio behind this game,
Yes.
one of the guys behind Deus Ex, Human Revolution, and Mankind Divided,
Okay.
Jean-Jacques Belletets. Do you remember
Sick.
this guy? He's
No.
like one of the like lead art directors.
Awesome.
And not only that, but like the whole like gameplay direction that this is going for, I feel like this fits into a lot of like what you've been wanting people to be doing with games.
Yeah.
But I got a few different quotes here. So first off, the kind of story setup, like you're out to learn more about your past in different regions of a country ravaged by civil war, and the recent appearance of supernatural creatures that resemble ancient headstones and monuments in the region. You have to learn how to defeat them and use your equipment wisely. Now, to get into the gameplay stuff, the studio wanted to go back to the roots of old school adventure games by encouraging exploration and reflection,
Hell yeah.
and by eliminating traditional aids. Here, there are no detailed maps,
Amazing.
quest markers, or compasses,
Fuck yeah.
revealing
Don't
all
hold my
points of
hand.
interest.
Good.
Players will have to rely on their intuition, observational, and reasoning skills to progress through their journey and discover the secrets of these mysterious lands.
That is peak immersive sin vibes. That's why they are the best.
Yeah.
Because you can fully transport yourself into that world. When games are holding your hand and they're giving you directions and they're telling you where to go and all that stuff, it's way harder to get just fully immersed versus something like a Deus Ex where it's just like, kill the person in that building or steal the thing from that building. Go ahead. Feel free. It's like, okay, how?
Hand holding though, real quick.
Yeah.
I think you need to have the option.
Accessibility
the
for
option
sure.
to scale it back, like a question at the beginning before you start the game. That's like,
I don't know.
Can
I don't
discern
know
that?
that they're gonna have that, but
Yeah, this seems like really hardcore.
I mean,
here,
I guess I'm trying to argue that like I don't think people understand if you're trying to appeal to a larger audience, like people like casual players, they need that shit.
I don't think they're appealing to
absolutely
the casual players though, man.
So they aren't. But like if you are,
Yeah.
I'm just bringing this up because like it's so crazy. I was talking about this last night with somebody. Like I was like really thinking about this. Like unless you don't care and you're just going for a specific audience, you don't care how high your sales are going to be. This is what every game developer has to go through. And I wish more people could see behind the scenes because I bet you'd be shocked at how like low the bar has to go for some players because like you have to cater to some people who aren't like in our sphere, who aren't as in tune with games as us.
100%.
They like a little bit more casual. So not this one specifically, but like sorry, this is a little bit of a tangent, but like I just felt like compelled to say that because I was like, that's so weird. I was just talking about it like last
yeah.
night.
Yeah.
I feel like this is coming up a lot lately, and it's like about hand holding in games. So, but yes, for this one specifically, probably not.
So, but to get to that, the next quote I think kind of goes into this because this is what you need to do, right? Quote, "The environments are not there simply to decorate. They are there to communicate. Correspondingly, paying attention to what the NPCs tell you is crucial, as what they tell you is actual organic information about what to do and how to do it."
I love everything you're saying, Blood.
Yeah.
This
Right?
immediately is shot up from like not even looking at it to like, okay, on my radar.
We've designed the investigation and the many secrets to offer multiple paths leading to various solutions, allowing players to discover and resolve the investigative challenges in different possible ways. The satisfaction of overcoming an obstacle on your own is, in our opinion, a fundamental part of the gaming experience and the true essence and catalyst of player-made discoveries. And they're going to show off more on Monday
Sick.
on the Nacon YouTube channel.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very hyped. Yeah, if that combat feels good.
Yeah,
You know, we've
that's-
seen
that's important.
We've seen a fair amount of Souls-like in the last 10 years, and some of them hit, some of them don't.
Yeah,
So
and like I
all of
don't even
the-
know if like Souls-like might be premature, but we're not seeing a whole lot
The
yet.
combat in this trailer is very Souls-coded, for sure. Other than that, though, everything behind the scenes of like what they're talking about, like the design philosophy, really exciting.
Curious, where are you at, Isla?
On what?
on what you're hearing and seeing.
Wasn't listening.
Sorry.
Not interested.
Hard out.
Another one that I think is probably just hard to get in a quick trailer. Towers of Agaspa. This is inspired by a mix of Animal Crossing, Breath of the Wild, Viva Pinata, and Ghibli's Nazca,
Okay.
which is my favorite.
Oh, you
movie.
said the
Yeah.
You said Nausicaa. There you go.
Yeah. But Huber, the next bit, could have never guessed. Would have never put two and two together.
Yeah.
From the original creators of Hawken.
Hawken, dude. What? Hawken. Back when frickin' graphics on PC games were king. Like Crisis led to Hawken.
Yeah.
I think it was that order. Yeah. Hawken was a visual showpiece for sure.
Yeah. So basically, it's like you're trying to. So it's sort of like Animal Crossing in that like you're building up your town and all of this stuff, but it's also you're trying to keep nature in balance. So you're not just building up like buildings and things like that. You're also like contributing to the environment
Awesome.
and helping to do all that kind of thing.
You're a Na'vi.
Yeah. And they say that you can travel to other players' worlds like in Animal Crossing to go and explore there. And they say it's an open world sandbox, but players can expect clear goals alongside satisfying crafting and collection
Yeah.
progression. While exploring, players will be able to uncover ruins and relics, grow unique ecosystems, attract extraordinary creatures, and nurture the wildlife that they've restored. And it's coming to early access on Steam and PS5 in November.
Looks a little
All right.
lifestyle-y for me.
Yeah, no,
You know?
that's what the kind of game it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to get excited or commit to those types of games, but Hawken was cool and the visuals look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like anytime you can create a unique world that looks interesting, like that's shout out.
Yeah.
That deserves a shout out. It feels just like how do we keep coming up with new designs? You'd feel like humans would run out of aesthetics.
Right. Yeah, swimming and everything there, too.
Yeah, the underwater stuff looks really good.
Next up, a quickie. That Astrobot DLC,
Oh yeah.
just right off the heels.
Stellar Blade hype,
Of
dude.
that.
I cannot believe
Yeah.
Stellar Blade already, dude. Eve, let's go.
So we're getting 5 speedrun levels, and then they showed that there's going to be 10 bots, including Helldivers and Stellar Blade.
I'm the one dude in the corner who's like, I actually just like really liked Eve. Like, memes and weird fandoms aside, it was like, dude, Eve was just kind of cool. Like, shout out to that voice actress. Super good.
But here's the question I've got for you. So this is what's funny is we had that whole question, the love and respect question last week about, the commercialization and all this, like kind of like cynical side of things.
So dumb.
But isn't that kind of doesn't that feel like more to be the point now with the DLC? It's like, oh, there's a Helldiver, there's Eve, here are the games that just
That's
came
awesome.
out this year.
That's awesome. Cool. Let's celebrate these awesome games that came out this year. Helldivers and Stellar Blade are easily 2 of the best games that came out in 2024. Let's celebrate them.
Okay.
Cool. Sounds good to me. Let's go. Love it. Love it. Yeah. I don't know why I'm surprised that, it's them, but that is super cool. Like trying to think of other newer games that came out. I don't know. It seems like it's time for some Final Fantasy VII Rebirth characters in your
Oh, yeah.
What's the deal, man?
That's what I was. Yeah, I was expecting that, honestly, for the DLC. Like, that was my copium that, like, oh yeah, they're saving it for DLC because Square Enix wants to get paid. They're like, yeah, we know we're the most valuable. Let's go.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, you know, if they're not gonna, for whatever reason, lend their characters, then, you know, move on to other ones. Or, I mean, it still could be in the works, I guess. Who knows? But this is really cool because, I mean, I'm not as much into. I haven't really. Helldivers was fun. Subway looks cool, but like they're very recent, so like I'm not as into like recent stuff being in the game like this. Like it doesn't do as much for me. But like those levels, the challenge levels, that seems like really cool. But I still just like we're gonna do. I'm gonna bring it up, just like Odyssey, Mario Odyssey, where we didn't get a new like set of worlds or whatever. I hope we get like another galaxy with another set of planet levels
too,
at some point for Astrobot. Unless they're just working on Astrobot 2 right now. They're just working on Astrobot 2, then great. That's coming out in the next
Already?
2-3 years. Let's go. Greenlight it. Let's
That
go.
was a rumor. That was a report that went out like before Astrobot even released. They were like that the sequel was already greenlit
Oh my god.
because it was so good.
Oh my god.
All right. If they're giving that sequel, if they can show me a trailer in 2 years, then awesome. But I do feel like they should probably back off this. Like, it would be nice to make the next one less reliant on like PlayStation
I
history
think that would
and
be
do their
nice.
own thing. So that's why I'm kind of hoping like we can get one more galaxy with the as I said before, the hero world being like the Final Fantasy
agree.
hero world,
I agree.
and then we are awesome. Because I just want to have the Cloud Buster
Yup.
sword just swing, doing the like you have to charge it up to get the limit break, and maybe also cast spells
Damiani,
too.
dude, I
Dude.
shouldn't give Team Asobi any ideas, but I'd pay any price. I'd pay any price.
Fun at the end.
I would take.
Any price for a Final Fantasy world, dude. Any price
I
for a
would
Final
take.
Fantasy Galaxy.
I would
the
take.
music.
I would take a turn-based boss fight with a summon.
Yeah.
That would be
dude,
hilariously
yes.
awesome. I would love that. Please make it so.
Next up, The Midnight Walk, which is a PlayStation VR 2 game, but you can play it just on PS5. You don't have to play it in VR.
Very cool.
And
It made me want to play Lost in Random immediately.
Yeah, yeah. And so this is from the same team that did Lost in Random, and every asset is sculpted in clay before they scanned it into the game. And I read through the PlayStation blog on this, and it was cool because it was like they're saying they like after Lost in Random, they weren't sure what they wanted to do next.
Yeah.
And so
Because Jones talk shit.
No, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. But they just got the sculpting, and they sculpted some different figures, and they sculpted this little guy with the flame, and then that started sparking like what they wanted to do.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And they say that basically, like, you've got a childlike humanoid with the flame coming out of its head. We immediately started talking about a game where you'd have to protect this little creature as you journey through a dark fairy tale world filled with fire-eating monsters who want to devour you and your flame.
Whoa.
So,
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of the other one that looks incredible with the frog and the New Orleans vibe, the lady.
oh
South of
yeah,
Midnight.
South of Midnight.
South of Midnight. Yeah. These just like
Yeah.
They're both midnights.
Yeah, just these really striking visuals that you don't see a lot of. So yeah, sign me up for anything that looks like this, I guess.
Yeah, and it's cool too that we're just seeing more of this kind of thing. Like Fantasian has the dioramas, and Kunitsugami has the dioramas, or the
Don't skip Gnutzi.
the stuff that they built in real life. Yeah, the
love that
miniatures. Sick. You guys are gonna have to tell me about this. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered. I know it's a legendary PlayStation franchise. It's just not one that
Yeah.
I've ever gotten back to because I didn't have a PlayStation when these came out.
Same.
Yeah, what's the big deal?
So I played-
What's the big deal about this?
My origins of this game are playing with Neighbor Kid all the time.
Okay.
All the time. We could not get insanely far. We would always like replay the like first half of this game all the time. But it was just at least my memory as a child was that this game was just so absorbing. Like the story, the puzzles, the environments, it was just one of those games that was like really easy to get lost in. Lost actually, like, where am I going? But lost in as just like so invested in this world.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
these are the Eternal Darkness guys, right? Like you can kind of see it, and even the texture work and everything, and some of the dialogue that's in this trailer.
Yeah. This is just one of the most feel-good announcements. I love this too because this has brought up a newer, not debate, but a conversation about remasters and remakes.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just giving it like a little bit of fresh paint, but it does look so similar to the original. So it's like, what would we rather have? These just like quick little, not quick little, but like these up-reses, you know, style, or something like a Dead Rising, where it's like, entirely new engine, some new VO, some new stuff, or just
Yeah, well, I'm sure
really
it's a new engine, but yeah.
yeah, or just keep that really original looking style visually, and then just like making it pop a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I know a lot of people like Final Fantasy VII's remake to been more like this, a little. But I mean, sure. I mean, it makes you think about it though.
Yeah.
For as awesome as a certain remake could be, there are people who would just want a more faithful one like this. So,
Yeah.
Totally.
yeah.
Yeah, and like, Night Dive's been killing it and stuff with like, all of that stuff going on with the I'm trying to think about what this just did. System Shock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is being done by Aspire, which makes me a little bit wary. They're like hit and miss. Some have been good, some have been have had problems. But we'll see.
Oh, it's just so encouraging, I mean, these are what dreams are made of, dude. This is my favorite shit of all time, Blood. When a beloved franchise like this franchise means so much to people. Like the people that love Legacy of Kain are like Shenmue vibes. Like I love this series type vibe. So it's just so awesome when these things get remastered, reintroduced to players who have never touched them. You get all that, then you also get it to players that just want to revisit it, that love it so much, and then you always have that hope in the back of your mind, like, what's next? What's new? What will this lead to something? So it's just so exciting when this stuff happens.
Nice. And then last one from Sony. Fear the Spotlight.
Fear the Spotlight, Isla.
yeah.
Let's go. Goaty watch.
Dude,
There you go.
Goaty watch. Yeah. Where did we play this? Summer Game Fest?
SGF, yeah.
Blumhouse.
Fuck,
They had
it
that
was
little booth
good.
there.
My
Yeah,
God, it was
hell
good.
yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Holy crap, it was good.
And I think it's really funny that like they had that synergy because it's like, oh, it looks like a PS1 game.
Yeah.
So that's how they introduced it.
Yep. Take it away, Isla. This is you.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like, Fear the Spotlight, you are these two girls in high school. Are they friends? Are they roommates? Who knows?
Are they lovers?
That's what roommates means.
Oh.
Historical roommates, Yeah, and you are meeting in the library after hours at the school. And there was a really cute scene where, like, the character you're playing as, because the other girl's, like, the cool girl, and you're, like, a nerd. It has, like, you're sneaking into the library, and then you go behind the desk, and it says, like, Employee of the Month, and it's you. And she's like, I can't let her see this. You have to, like, move it. But, yeah, so they start doing, like, a seance type thing. I don't remember who they were kind of trying to contact. If it was like a girl who went missing or
Yeah,
what.
something like that, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And then, shit gets weird.
Shit goes down.
And then the other one goes, like, just disappears, and you're wandering the school trying to find her, and the vibes are crazy. And there's, like, a spotlight going
Yeah.
around, and you're trying to avoid it.
You're doing, like, the Ouija board, right,
Yeah,
Isla?
Ouija board, yeah. Just, like, the vibes are so right.
The vibes are perfect.
And the controls were good, and I don't know. It's just rad as shit.
Mm-hmm.
For the
100%.
Spotlight.
Yeah, 100%. Isla nailed it with the vibes, the atmosphere, the look, the controls. Like, this is one of those games where, if you're into spooky, scary, horror type stuff, within like 10 minutes, you're just like immediately connecting with it. You're just like, yes, this is the one. This is the one. This is the one where you turn off all the lights and you get ready.
Yeah.
And now.
Wait, is this the first one from this collection? What was the deal with
It was
this?
the first one, I think, of the Blumhouse games releasing. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, they're publishing a bunch of games.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're all disconnected though. It's not part of some like.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything like that.
Yeah, I
I
don't
think they're
think
even from
so.
like different developers and stuff.
That
Like,
they for
yeah.
sure are, because
Yeah.
we met the devs for this, and it was like just 2 people
Yeah.
mostly.
Yeah.
And the best thing ever, thank you devs for like knowing the dates of things. How often are we like, why did this release here? Why did this release here? Like this game coming out on October 22nd. You couldn't ask for a better day than that. That is perfection. Thank you for listening. Like Slitterhead in November, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Life is Strange on
Strange.
Halloween, October 31st? Why?
No, that's not Life is Strange. That's the Dragon Age. Life is Strange is like the 29th, I think.
Same difference.
yeah.
Like, what? What are you doing? Yeah. So,
Yeah, I think Silent Hill 2 on like the 8th or whatever it is like perfect. timing.
perfect. Yeah, because it's a little longer. You're
A
not
little
going to beat it
earlier,
in one
yeah,
night.
yeah, exactly. You're not fighting with anybody.
For sure.
Yeah.
I love it. Like, self-awareness. Perfect. This game is primed to blow up. I'm ready.
Nice. Moving on to Xbox.
Stock Xbox done.
They had a TGS presentation. I did not get to watch the whole presentation, so I've got some cliff notes here. Yeah, because they did have a full rundown of all the announcements, and I got some trailers and looked through some of the things.
Every
But yeah,
game's
let's start with this. since
Every
Steve
game's
was already talking about it.
desperation to
He
like
hasn't talked about it yet.
We'll go ahead. Just play it. Overwatch 2 is getting My Hero Academia skins, which will be
okay.
available from October
Oh.
15th to the 28th. Get in here.
Okay.
every game's desperation to like partake in Fortnite's pop culture success. It's just like,
Hello, we are desperate to partake.
yeah, we are. Anime? Gamers like anime?
Oh, may we partake?
May we partake in the gamers' anime love?
Well, it's the TGS too. Remember the context. Remember where we are.
Japanese and it's like my Japanese anime.
Yeah.
That's my cynical bad faith. But if you like Overwatch and you like My Hero Academia, like you are excited for this, I would imagine. I don't want to be a hypocrite. Anytime this shit comes into Fortnite, I'm just eating it up. So same thing. I mean, if you're not invested in My Hero, I've seen season 1 only. If you're
I'm
not
almost caught up.
nice. If you're not
Oh, wow.
invested in one or both of these things, like it's easy to just kind of like haha or be cynical about it because you're not invested. But again, if you like both of these things, like that's exciting.
It is always weird because it's like they are skins for Overwatch characters. So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there are times when I like look
Yeah.
at them and I'm like, okay, but which character is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a little bit different, a little bit off. But
Yeah.
yeah. But again, time and place.
Mike Guy as Reinhardt. It's actually pretty hype. All right, you got me.
They gave a quick look at Indiana Jones. There wasn't really a whole lot to go off of, but the reason was they were showing off the Japanese voice actor for Indiana Jones. They were
Oh.
showing the dub, the Japanese dub
Cool.
for that game. Yeah.
Super cool.
So, yeah.
All right. Pretty cool.
Some quick hits. Game Pass is getting StarCraft Remastered, StarCraft 2.
Console?
No,
Oh,
PC Game Pass.
fuck. Damn it. Oh, okay. Still awesome, but just when that happens, dude, WoW on console, StarCraft on console, let's go. That moment is going to be huge.
It's also getting Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster,
So the
Trials of Mana,
Hey.
Legend of Mana, and Katamari. Both Katamari games.
Nice. Good lineup.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now some of the bigger announcements. They just dropped All You Need Is Help. It's out now.
Yes.
It's
Why
out.
are we not playing right now?
Xbox got the announcement. It's also out on
Why
PlayStation.
are we not playing right now?
But yeah, so if you do not remember this game, it was revealed earlier this year. It's from Q Games, the guys who do the Pixel Junk games.
Don't skip.
And yeah, it's kind of like Snipper Clips in a way.
Incredible.
4-player cooperative puzzles that you have to solve. You're playing as these like soft little quilted Tetris block looking guys.
I'm equally as
Just adorable.
excited and nervous to play
Same,
with
dude,
to play
same.
with Damiani.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that also the same
okay.
for you, Isla? Or are you thinking of something else?
We are going to be playing this Tuesday night. I don't know if we will be able to get Damiani patched in or not. We'll have to see.
I'll play just my presence will have mind game effect on you.
Yeah, dude. No, this
You won't know what to expect.
I am so excited for this group stream, Bloodworth. Like this is the one that I'm like I like lose sleep waiting for these types of group streams where I'm
Right.
like I cannot wait to get in a room with everyone and play this. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and this is on Game Pass as well.
Nice.
So really nice, really
Hell
friendly.
yeah. Oh, it's going to be so fun. I'm so excited. And like one of my favorite co-op moments of my entire life is actually from Q Games Pixel Junk. Pixel Junk
Oh,
Monsters.
yeah.
Pixel Junk Monsters local co-op is in my top 10 co-ops ever. So,
Sick.
yeah.
Yeah. It looks so fun.
Yep.
Yeah. Showed you this earlier. I don't know if Damiani got a chance to watch this Metal Gear Solid Delta trailer.
I don't need to see anything else
know,
about
I
this,
already know
man.
everything.
Yeah, like I would not want to
This
watch
shit
anymore.
memorized.
Considering how faithful it's trying to be,
Yeah.
you don't need to. Yeah, I'm good.
Same.
I'm good.
I just need to see
But,
I want to see the first like 30 minutes of gameplay. Like that would be the last thing I'd want to watch, just to see the like, you know, the camouflages, the hunting / eating, the movement, the stealth. Like I just want to like see it kind of play out in real time, and then I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about like the dream sequence game, if they are able to leave that in.
Right.
If they're just gonna like leave it alone, if they're gonna leave it like
You're
as
opening
is,
with
like
that,
super
Damiani?
low res.
That's what we're talking about now. That's where we're
I
going.
mean, they pretty much like it feels like they've confirmed like a lot of other stuff is in there. I
Right.
feel like.
Dude.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, am I gonna be able? I'm assuming I can change my PlayStation internal clock and
Yeah.
mess with something as well.
Yes.
I mean.
Oh my god, if they
I-
remove all that like hidden Kojima shit, that would be offensive.
Yeah, I just don't know the status of that game prototype they put in there, if they're allowed to do it or not, or what, or if they're gonna replace it with something else. Maybe, I don't know.
You're so
And
right. I'm so glad
also
you
the
brought it up.
credit. I because I don't remember if they did it, so this might already be answered. But in the Volume 1 collection,
Mine's
they give like
unopened.
any extra credit to like Kojima, like special thanks, or they just like only OG credits? Because I wonder, because they're gonna treat this as a new game, is it still gonna have like the original credits, or they have new credits, and will it have any kind of special thanks to Kojima or not?
My history of finishing remakes / remasters is usually the original game credits are after, at the very end. That they'll
Okay.
just cycle through the original.
So you think they'll just probably likely just do that, where it's like new credits, OG credits, nothing else, no new like special shout out to Kojima.
Yeah.
Just like don't want to rock the boat with that, huh?
They could do that slimy thing of and the original staff of Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh, I don't even.
Actually, yeah,
No,
no,
they
Damiani,
can't do that.
Damiani,
They can't do that.
you actually
What,
bring up
Heber?
a good point, dude, because I'm not even thinking about the end credits. I'm actually thinking about the opening credits.
Right.
When Kojima's name is prominently featured in the beginning of the game, a Hideo Kojima game, directed
is
by
it-
Hideo Kojima. Like,
Is it gonna say all that? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
So your
technically it is
request
a
about the
new-
opening few minutes is a big deal, Huber.
And even yeah, that's the thing though, is like even if it were, it would be weird, right? Because this is not a
It is-
Hideo Kojima game.
Exactly, it's a new.
That's what I'm
game.
saying. Yeah, like. Yeah, and if you're like the director of this, do you really want it's like your name being compared to Kojima? It's like I don't know. It's like a catch-22 a little bit. I don't know. That seems like. But I feel like they're playing it the best way they can with the hand dealt to them. Yeah. They really can't make a brand new Metal Gear game at the moment. So like take 1. 3 is very critically acclaimed, but I think it's the one
kind of
that they can get away with like just doing it as faithfully as possible, because 1 is can of worms, man, because you can't, that needs to be updated, and 2 is already like a landmine with like the writing and stuff, so it's like you like it's already controversial enough, so like you wouldn't want to touch this. I think like 3 is like the safe one to do, and it's like see how people react to that and then maybe move from there. I think it's gonna be very like, what's the word, milquetoast at the end. It's like gonna be good. It's like, oh, it's an update. It's mostly thanks to Kojima, and they really didn't do much to change anything. Update like a few quality of life updates and a visual overhaul, and awesome. It's a nice new way to play the game in whenever this year, 2024.
What do you think about that visual overhaul, though, Damiani? Because I told them earlier to like, this gives me the feel of like some weird like mod pack on Steam or not Steam, but you know what I mean? Like it looks good, but it also looks like uncanny somehow.
Like some 5-year modder took 5 years to mod the MGS3, base version on PC. Some project. I get that vibe.
Yeah, that's the vibe. That's the vibe I get. And it's like sometimes the voice acting looks really good, and other times it doesn't seem to fit because they just have the audio. They don't have performance capture, right? So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I felt this not the same way, but had a similar complaint about like Wind Waker's updated visuals with the lighting. I think a little bit overboard, and so the aesthetic to me changed from the original, from being a more flat, cell shading to this more 3D models with actual more proper lighting. I'm like, this doesn't look right. This is just feels like a different kind of filter going over it, and I can definitely see why purists aren't happy with it. But honestly, I feel like is it coming to PC? I forget. It's coming to everything, right? It's coming to PlayStation. Is it coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC?
I think so.
There'll be a PC mod color correction. There's always color corrections and reshade stuff on PC. So if you're really a purist, go play it on PC. Get all the things on there that you want, and there you go.
Yeah, I'm just such in a weird spot. It's depressing me. But it's I treat this the same way I treat new Terminator movies, where it's is James Cameron involved? Yes or no? Oh, he's not. I'm not really hyped.
Okay, for
Metal
your
Gear,
hype level,
Metal Gear
is quality level different.
Metal
story.
Gear is the most tied to a creator out of any franchise in video games that has ever been made in my eyes. In my eyes, Metal Gear equals Hideo Kojima.
Right.
More than any other franchise ever. More than Miyamoto and Mario. This is the most just Kojima series. So I guess I think that's just why I'm not insanely hyped for it. Especially too, because I haven't played Metal Gear Solid 3, which is easily one of my favorite games and one of the best games ever made, full stop. I haven't played it in all the way through in 5 or 6 years.
Right.
So it's time to just go back to it, but I would be more excited to go back to the Volume 1 collection and just play that version instead of this. Because it's perfect.
Yeah.
So, but I am still open to this. That's the thing. I'm not forsaking this or writing it off. This is absolutely something that I am going to be hyped on and play 100% all the way through. But there is just this missing link to the hype and the anticipation. And I think that's just, the Konami/Kojima vibe.
Yeah, I feel like I could only really get excited about a Metal Gear 1 remake of any kind, because oh crap, we're going to finally modernize that to some extent. We had Twin Snakes, I know, but being more faithful to the original version would be like or Kojima coming back to do like a director's cut version of like Phantom Pain. Those are like the two hypest things he could do probably. It's like him coming back to redo Metal Gear Solid 1 or the Phantom Pain director's cut.
Dude. Oh. Honestly, Phantom Pain director's cut is like Shenmue 4 levels, Damiani. It's like,
Yep.
We need it.
You'd mentioned Slitterhead earlier.
Slitterhead, dude. An October game coming out in November.
Yeah, Xbox got Slitterhead. We really... They had the developer, the creator come on and talk about it, but they really didn't get into anything new. Like, it was all essentially the same kind of stuff we were talking about before. But
why would a horror game come out a week after Halloween, though? Like, what's the logic there? Am I just getting hung up on this?
You're thinking logic.
It's like the
more
Simpsons
logistics.
special.
It's like, like when is it going
Like
to
the
be ready?
Simpsons.
Yeah.
Plus,
Treehouse of Horror sometimes has to come out after Halloween.
True.
That's how it is.
True.
Sometimes scheduling, that's how it works.
Yeah.
October is also just stacked.
Stacked, yeah.
So
Give it some time to
There's
breathe.
a little bit more breathing room in November this year right now.
Yeah.
So,
So hyped on this, dude.
but yeah, it's just a sick looking game. And it's just such a weird game.
It is. It's the this year earlier you mentioned Kunitsugami, Kunitsugami, which is just an awesome game and very unique.
Yeah.
Slitterhead is in that category for me, where it is like this somewhat higher budget than an indie game, obviously. But just doing really weird, unique things. And we don't always get that with, a game that's trying to be more mainstream.
Right.
So,
Yeah, and what was funny is in this little dev diary thing they got, he was talking about himself, like as a designer, like, when he was there first starting to do playtests, like he was playing it kind of like more traditional game, and he's like, no, wait. Like I don't have I can do this and
let
do
me
that.
break
and, like,
the rules.
Like yeah, like it's like really rewriting like how you do these fights, by just like hopping into bodies, going back and forth, and like drawing aggro and all of that stuff. Yeah.
And Alan and I played it, and it was friggin' awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty tricky at first. Those parries.
Yeah.
Yeah, the parry
timing
system is a
is
little
nuts,
weird for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
You gotta like move the stick in the right direction.
I'm really intrigued to see a little more of the overarching plot of like, are we just like Invasion of the Body Snatchers right now? Like, what is going on here? Like, really cool premise.
Yeah, and your whole team of the whatever.
Yeah.
The people that don't get fully possessed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up is Starbites, which is one I'm not sure if this is like a full-on reveal, but it's one I hadn't heard of before.
Starbites.
And this is a little bit more on the indie side of things, but it is a new turn-based RPG, but it's all with mechs. You're like on this desert planet.
Mechs are cool.
Everyone got mechs.
They're always cool.
There's some nice designs there. There's some cool combat systems looking in there.
Cool.
There's a nice little town they got in there too. I know you like your
Nice.
towns.
Looks like a Bossman game.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta call it out. Yeah, looks cool. Looks neat.
Yeah. Fun little one.
Yeah.
Um,
Always down for turn-based combat, dude.
yeah. Yeah. Just like getting yourself a like lightning attack.
Mm-hmm.
And then that guy with the like flying like
Vulture.
Yeah, that's who I
Michael
thought of.
Keaton.
Well, I was actually there's a Metal Gear guy like that too, right?
One of the beauties.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's got the wings. There's the town.
Yeah.
That's what I was wanting to see a little bit of that town.
Cool.
Anyways, fun little one.
Nice.
Isla,
Hello.
Suikoden
Ah.
1 and 2 remaster update.
Yes!
Yeah, dude. Jazzed about it.
Yeah.
Coming out, they gave it a date, like March or something?
March 6th it's coming out.
Hell
Yo,
yeah.
Konami's out of control with Silent Hill, Metal Gear, and Suikoden. Yo, Konami. Cooking.
Yeah.
They're back.
It's like they decided to matter again. Yeah, I mean, these Suikoden 1 and 2 are like some of my legacy favorite games. They're just like, I think, first games that ever made me cry. Like,
Right?
And I'm a tough nut to crack. Well,
Yeah.
less tough now, but I used to be a very tough nut to crack. They're just so wonderful. Wait, I can cut to myself. I forgot. They're just so wonderful and like cozy and warm, and like the strategy is cool. Like I love the 2 rows of two rows for combat, putting in all your stuff and then it happens. Like I think that's really cool. I don't know. Suikoden is sick.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So what's interesting about the style they had going on there is they kept the original pixel art for the characters,
Yeah.
but then redrew the backgrounds in HD, and then they also have like 3D effects for a lot of the spells and stuff that you could see in there.
Nice.
And they added like, quality of life stuff, like the trees animate now, and like there's sound effects when you walk by stuff. And,
Yeah.
it's just like stuff you didn't really realize wasn't there when you were a kid. That you're like, oh yeah, that'll breathe a lot more life into this.
Yeah, and then it does have some combat speed options, Damiani, and auto battle options and things like that.
Nice. Always a fan of that.
Classic.
Make it easier for people, please.
Next up is Tanuki Pon Summer, which I think was just revealed at this event.
Suikoden's coming out on everything, I think, not just Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, chat. Because that trailer just said Xbox.
Yeah,
I think-
this is the Xbox
Don't be
conference.
deceived.
So that's all they tell you about.
Sauron the Deceiver. I'm so fucking hyped on Rings of Power. Sorry. Please move on.
But yeah, a cute little game with a Tanuki here. But what's funny is when we start getting into the gameplay, it's like Tanuki Parcel Core.
Sick.
He's got like
This looks
Okay.
jolly,
like you see in the
dude.
trailer, like, oh, he's just got a little bike and he's got his packages and stuff. But then you get to the gameplay and you're like rail grinding and doing backflips and stuff
What?
with the Tanuki.
Blood Earth, I'm so in for this, dude. I'm so
There it is.
in.
There's the gameplay.
Dude,
So
this looks fun.
maybe not quite as like run based as Parcel Core seems to be. And it's like a little bit more story. They talk
Yeah.
about having like other mini games and stuff.
Is there VO?
I don't remember if there's VO in gameplay.
I made a new rule. If a game doesn't have VO, I'm not going to stream it.
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do
Oh,
that.
see,
That's
It
a
said
stupid
stream.
rule.
That's a dumb rule.
I don't want to read for 5 hours straight.
Well, there are lots of games that don't have like characters speaking at all. You're not going to stream Balatro after?
You know what I mean, though. You know
I don't know what you mean.
It's
You're
like a
crazy.
story heavy. Story
I
heavy.
actually some of my favorite streams have been like that.
Yeah,
Some
it's fun.
RPG
People
streams.
like that.
Temporary bitterness.
Temporary bitters.
Temporary
okay.
bitterness.
But they've also got so you're basically there's a little baseball thing in there. I don't know if you saw that.
Love it.
Other
I love Japan's love for the game of baseball.
some other mini games. They say you're gathering cash to repair a local shrine,
Dude, economy?
and it's says part construction sim, part BMX trickathon, and part mini game compilation.
This looks so good, Blood. What? What is this called?
Tanuki Pon Summer.
What's the date?
I don't think they put a date on it yet.
Okay, so probably next year.
Yeah, probably later in next
All
year.
right,
sometime.
on my radar, Blood, on my list here.
And then the next one, the last one from the Xbox thing I'm going to get into is called Threads of Time. These guys,
Is that like Threads of Fate?
nope, Threads of Time.
Okay.
They are going full on for we're making a Chrono Trigger spiritual successor. Like
right.
100%. That's what they said in their pitch and their email and everything.
Sweet.
They've got a freaking dinosaur era. They've got a future era with giant robots. They've got 1080. There's a bunch of airships flying around, just like fleets of airships.
Cool.
And then, yeah, they've got the anime
Damn.
cutscenes similar to the PS1 re-release. It
Holy
had that.
shit.
And yeah, it's just kind of like Octopath kind of style, right? Like
Whoa.
a little
Alright,
bit
yeah.
of blur and all of that happening.
Good grief.
The camera's a bit more dynamic in battles, it seems. They do have the like combo attacks from like they show the one shot where like one person jumps in the air with a sword, the other person lights the sword on
Yeah,
fire
yeah.
before they drop down. Yeah, and like that guy looks like Robo so much. This mech.
Yeah.
But there's a dude inside. It's not just a robot.
Illusion shattered.
So
That looks good, Blood. Holy crap.
it could be cool.
Yeah.
It could be cool. And then, oh yeah, and when we get to the final shot, it's very, very, it like just redoes like the Chrono Trigger campfire. But yeah, like, and then there's this thing here, like you're like fighting like Fenrir or something.
Sick.
Yeah.
How has everything returned and had a spiritual successor except Skies of Arcadia?
Right.
Oh,
Like
why do you do that?
crazy. Like everything has come back, remaster, remake, spiritual successor. It's wild. Just the airships reminding me of it.
But this is coming from Rio Games, who's actually a Canadian studio. But they are working with some devs and composers in Japan.
You're stoked.
Everyone picking up those composers whenever they can.
Oh yeah.
So I'm curious which names they're going to drop in there. But the devs, some of the background, there are people that worked on Shovel Knight, Fortnite, Deltarune, and Tomb Raider. So that's a pretty diverse lineup there
Yeah.
of backgrounds.
Hell yeah.
So
We love Shovel Knight.
could be cool. We will see. Let's move on to sort of impressions, sort of news, sort of speculation. Damiani, you wanted to talk about Final Fantasy 16 on PC and the sales reports and everything that's going on.
Sales reports.
Sales reports. You
Love
better
it.
know you like
I
it.
love it.
Yeah, so Final Fantasy 16 finally came to PC, Steam, Epic, whatever platform you prefer there. Sorry. And at first, I had a little bit of trouble with it, but it was just I think it was just maybe something with my rig or whatever. But
Drivers.
I don't think it was that. I think
BIOS.
there's like a report about like a memory leak, possibly. I don't know if it was that, but
okay.
I was also trying to play and stream, but I did stop streaming and resumed playing, and it didn't improve. Basically, I was not getting above like 30 frames with my build, and everyone in chat who saw what my build was kind of like scratching their heads, like you shouldn't be getting it. You shouldn't be having these performance problems. Tried again. A few days later, runs at like mostly 60 frames. Like I think it drops to 45 in like the most intense open world area with like the Garuda wind effects going on.
Oh,
like
sure.
there's all these like Garuda flying enemies, and there's a tornado. It's like in the wind just like wisping up everywhere. It's like, all right, yeah, I get it. It's like my rig is 6 years old. GPU is a 3080 Ti. About to say 3090. Yeah, right. I wish.
What's the retail on one of those?
But I have a
than
really
you
old
could afford,
CPU.
pal.
Yeah, I got a really old CPU in there, 9900K. But despite all that, it like once it started like that problem was just fixed itself, it runs so nicely, and like the image quality. I'm running it at like mid to high. I bumped it up to high because I wasn't really taking a hit. It looks, oh man, like just to see it running at most, like especially in the important boss fights, 60 frames smooth, high image quality, high detail. It's like I can't wait for Rebirth on PC now because of this. Like, oh, everyone complaining about like the blurry look of that when it's cleaned up, and it's gonna be so nice.
Oh yeah, those comparison videos, it's so clear.
Yeah,
just how blurry it is.
Oh my gosh.
And,
Yeah.
the performance mode.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Yeah.
I will say that. So it's great to have. But the thing is, it does feel like a lot of people are saying like, man, it feels like people are just moving on from this game because it took, even the PC release, it's like not kind of like sticking. It's like Final Fantasy 16, man, finally coming to PC. Not a big deal. It's like God of War Ragnarok is like, out muscling it for like higher concurrent users on
like
Steam, I believe. They're about
I feel like
they were
both
neck
of those
and neck.
games didn't really get much like talk about them. Like they came out and it's like I didn't feel like there was a lot of marketing push behind either one of those releases on PC.
Yeah. I think this is more of a testament that like these types of games, they really need to get these out at the same time, like waiting a year, which spills over into like what I really want to talk about. Like impressions wise, it just looks and runs way better, and I still like love this game. Like I still really like it.
I love
it.
I enjoy the combat.
I still need to get to that last DLC, but yeah.
And
That's good.
I love mods. I love being able to have a Buster Sword that's OP that like in the early hours of the game one-shot everything, but now it's not one-shotting everything. Just shows you how high the HP sponge thing was for a lot of enemies in that game. It's like, oh god, but there's some mods in the works that are rebalancing the difficulty. When they're finished, I'm excited. There's one that just reduces enemy HP but makes them way more aggressive and makes groups of enemies like attack you more frequently. So like you really have to be on point. I'm like, that's probably what the game was missing difficulty wise. I didn't need more enemies with higher HP pools. That was like not what I was interested in.
Same.
But enemies being more aggressive, I can't wait. Like they're still tweaking it and working it out. So yeah, was pretty happy with what I've played so far on the PC version, and it includes both DLC, the Rising Tide and the other one. I'm forgetting the name at the moment. Thank you. Includes both of those. So, and you can play them before you get to the end of the game, or you beat in the game. So, like, you're gonna have a much different experience. And dude,
Yeah, that's my
I think I
one
actually
thing.
did play Echoes of the Fallen before I finished.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Lucky you.
I have to give shout outs to the quality of life features, the quick teleport to turning quest, because I didn't use that because I finished the game. I'd platinumed it. I didn't need to use that. Using it now, I'm like, oh my God, thank you. Speeds things up so nicely. What happened?
We got
worry
audio
about it.
bleed over. It's okay.
Oh, anyway, yeah, it was pretty nice to have that quality of life. So being able to just like teleport to where you need to turn in a quest instead of like, where was it again? Where do I have to go? It's like, no, you're done. Turn it in. Like, love that. So nice. But impression wise, I don't have much else to say, but why I wanted to really bring this up was an excuse to talk about not just 16, but also Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, because Square Enix recently released a new financial briefing. Square Enix Holdings put out a report that has a page with a presentation slide that says their HD games underperformed. They specifically call out Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. While they were new titles and were like major and, you know, these are big releases, profits unfortunately did not meet our expectations. So it's the first time from like Square Enix officially saying does not meet expectations. And they had a few other people chime in as well. So like, you know, because obviously this has gone back and forth for like a year now.
Yeah.
And, you know, defenders like, duh, this is BS, right? This is not true. Several people came forth and were like, no, this is legit. Like this, like, here's the link to Square Enix's site. Please just read it yourself. And honestly, this has reignited the discussion about what's the problem with like Final Fantasy. Is it as simple as, does it need to be on more platforms day one? Does it need to maybe reconsider being on other certain platforms? For example, Final Fantasy 17. They're obviously going to make a new mainline entry. Does that game need to target, if let's say like Switch, and Switch 2 is going to be like the most popular platform going forward into the future generation? Should Square Enix be making it on Switch 2 as the lead platform and stop worrying about cutting edge visuals? Because we've seen how many great JRPGs have come out on Switch and have sold pretty well, and yet they're spending these big budgets on these games and they're not meeting these expectations. And a lot of that budget goes into that technology, like making them look cutting edge and running and having them trying to run as well as they can. Maybe is that something, you know, reducing production costs and putting it on a more popular lead platform, but it still needs to be everywhere. But that's the first issue. Is it as simple as that putting Final Fantasy on more platforms and maybe embracing like Switch and Nintendo a little bit more? Or is it like a new article from GameIndustry.biz from Robert Fahey, who also is one of the many people who have been kind of like saying this for the past year or so? Is there actually an identity crisis with Final Fantasy right now? And the crux of it, my point of view for this is that since Final Fantasy X, which in itself was a pretty unique entry, no Final Fantasy has been really the same and doesn't really follow the same tenets. Through the Super Nintendo era and the PlayStation era, you got much of the same. You knew when you got into any Final Fantasy numbered entry, you knew what you were pretty much getting. It was just like the PlayStation one's like, oh, pre-rendered backgrounds, but it's still mostly like the same. Starting with like 11, MMORPG. What is this? This is completely different. 12, nothing like anything before it. 13, goes back to turn-based, but super linear and way different than the previous entries. 14, another MMO in a completely different direction. 15, pseudo open world and a way different direction than any other one. And then now 16, super action oriented and not turn-based at all as well, just like 15. So if you jump into any of these more recent entries and you love one of them, but you try and go into another one, you might bail because you're like, this isn't even the same game. What am I even playing anymore? Where you look at other popular franchises and what they're doing, Grand Theft Auto, Mario Kart, like Mario, name any of the big ones.
Creed, yeah.
Assassin's Creed.
Damiani, I'm thinking of Resident Evil, man. They change all the time. Fixed camera, third person, first person,
Not so- it's still
co-op.
kinda
There's
not,
some of
though.
that, a little
But
bit.
Huber,
You're not
they
getting
made that
a
change and then they
turn-based
stuck with it. And
self-shaded Resident Evil game.
Ever since Resident Evil 4, I know what I'm getting in Resident Evil pretty much. 6 was probably like the one where I was like, I still know what I was getting, but like this game sucks. But other than that, it's like co-op. They added co-op. Yes, you can add iterative things, but like the tenets of that gameplay are still there. That survival horror zombie genre. You're not getting like they didn't go back to like they didn't alternate and go back to like a fixed camera. It's turn-based now. It's like wait, what? You don't get those like God of War, even when it reinvented itself. So that's the thing I think people are really hitting on is the identity part of it. Does Final Fantasy need to pick a damn direction and stick with it? Because that's been one of their hallmarks that they keep touting for all these for like decades now. With each new entry, we get a new director in there possible, the creative freedom. That's its calling card. But it doesn't seem like that's working, and it's actually working against Final Fantasy right now.
I think.
And so. Yeah, what are your thoughts? And then the question I want to pose to all of you is, what direction would you want Final Fantasy to go in?
I feel like now is the perfect time after everything you've said about 16 and kind of the identity crisis. I feel like now more than ever is an absolute perfect time to remake Final Fantasy 1. You remake 1 and you let everybody get in on the ground floor. Because I know a lot of people out there see the number 16 and they get intimidated. 15, 16, even if you subconsciously know that they are different and not connected, you still have this feeling of like, oh, well, that is such a massive franchise. Like, where do I even begin? The barrier for entry seems pretty stiff from the outside looking in. So I think a way to get a brand new audience is to remake full effort rebirth style FF7 style, like remake Final Fantasy 1. Drop the number and be like, hey, where it all began right here, everybody. Hop in, see what this entire franchise is. I know, the franchise has changed so much over the decades, but it's like, hey, see where it all began.
I don't think they need to.
Blood?
Yeah, I don't think they need to remake the first game or anything like that. Maybe go back to it for inspirations and things. But I do think that like they've got to drop the numbers. Like who like GTA.
Yeah.
Like big numbers or people get that like, oh, every new GTA is a new GTA.
Yeah.
But I feel like with Final Fantasy, like you're saying, it's like it seems so obvious to us. It's like, no, every new numbered game is just a whole new world.
Yeah.
But most people just don't. They see it and it's like
16. What?
Do I have to?
I never played
do I
those
have to
games.
catch up? And it's like, no, you don't have to catch up. Just play the new one. Like, don't even worry about the other ones. It doesn't matter, right?
Yep.
But I think in terms of gameplay direction and stuff, and like even though they're saying it's underperforming, I think it's maybe for different reasons. I think like the remake Rebirth is really that sweet spot that they're looking for to like let's be RPG like and a little bit of that action like to feel like you're actually like you're actively involved in the combat and stuff like that. And you've got this big world to explore and people to talk to and subquests and everything. Yeah. Whereas I think with 16, like it's so action heavy that like like you were saying, it's like they try to kind of like let's put the depth in there, but let's sort of like dumb it down so that like the old school Final Fantasy people don't feel intimidated. But then the people that were coming in for action games weren't totally satisfied because of the level scaling.
That was my number one criticism of that whole game was just how easy it was. Like right out of the gate, it was just like, oh,
and it's
God.
like I don't know that you can do that kind of action combat and leveling up. Like I don't think they really go together. I think you need to have
Wukong, dude, hold my beer. Wukong.
Do you think it's working?
Some of the best level up progression of all time.
But you're still leveling up on a level by level there is exploration, but like it's not on the same of like I'm doing a bunch of side quests and going around a world and all of that. Yeah. Like
it's harder to get like over leveled in Wukong.
Yeah. I mean, the number dropping thing, I know that's like controversial. Like if you want to drop the number and like just go with subtitles. I mean, I don't
like
think
Damiani,
it necessarily
did you see
hurt.
that whole ridiculous commercial for 16 where they had all these celebrities talking about it as, oh, it's cool to be your first time. Like sports stars and stuff. And I'm like, what is this?
I want to like, obviously They have that to deal with. I saw it in chat. Some people are pointing out in chat, and I whenever I was talking about this like a week ago, I also brought this up. People love to point out the argument against dropping numbers with Final Fantasy 15 being like the fastest selling, one of the best selling Final Fantasies. But Final Fantasy 15 is a extremely special case. That entry had so much history behind it. Had a massive marketing push that puts both Rebirth and 16's
felt like
budget
a
to
forbidden
shame.
Game almost.
They made it like a media like circus with Kingsglaive, anime, all this stuff, doing a countdown like clock for the release date and then delaying it.
Back from the dead.
Huber's favorite words, one of his favorite words, stakes. There was so much stakes behind this because even if you hated this shit, you wanted to play it just to see how big of a disaster it was going to be. You just had to, it was like Duke Nukem Forever. Like, I have to see this thing because it exists.
Totally.
So like, and it was on multiple platforms as well. So it had so much going for it. And I call it like it's a generational exception that you cannot recreate those circumstances.
I mean, they marketed that game for like 12 years.
Yeah. Like you're not. They should not do that again either. Even try and recreate that. But like I felt like they need to explain that. But like, yes, where does it go? Number dropping, I don't think it might help. It might not. I don't think that's the issue. I do think mostly it's an identity thing. And Huber's idea of like remake Final Fantasy 1 is definitely one. I'm more in the camp with like Bloodworth, where I like what they were doing in Remake and Rebirth, and like see a path forward with that style. But I mean, but does that rule out it? Should Final Fantasy go more action heavy and be like 16? Should they keep being more like 16? Should they go back to turn-based? There are a lot of fans who wanted to just go back to being turn-based, but like so many other games that kind of carried the torch for that and do it better. And honestly, they're all within Square Enix's own house as well. Like you have those series that are already doing great turn-based. So do they really need to go back to that? Or do they just need to go in a completely different direction? Like there are other RPGs that are successful out there. And there's different meanings of turn-based. Like people keep saying like, oh, Baldur's Gate 3 turn-based. Like that's nothing like Final Fantasy 10 turn-based. Like they're completely different, like different styles. So like, I mean, knowing all that, do you still think like that's like the best course, or do you think maybe they should embrace something else? Sorry, Huber, I know you're about to say something. What were you going to say? Sorry.
I forget. But I wonder if 17 could be tactical, dude. Bring tactics back. But like for the next mainline one. But see, even that feels like niche. I feel like this was the best chance to really get the newcomers involved, because, you know, you look at some of the highest selling games and there's like, you know, people like action and cinematic style games. And this was really trying to appeal, I feel like, to the mass audience.
I think one of the, I mean, I think there's a lot of different things that are probably working at 16, but one of the things that is working against 16, honestly, is 15 being so big. Mm-hmm. And like 15 being so big and with such a big part of the audience being
like Resident Evil 6
disappointed in it, then they're like, I don't know if I want 16, I'll wait and see. Mm-hmm. And then people were mixed on that, and so the wait and see became it's okay, I'll pass.
Resident Evil 6 to 7.
Yeah.
And
well,
also,
let me ask you.
And also, I think like the kind of like Game of Thrones ification of Final Fantasy, I think that probably turned a lot of people off too.
Which
like I think
crazy.
when I get into that game and I meet the characters and I'm into it, I love it. But when I was looking at that game before that, I'm just like, who is this dude? What is that guy? It all just felt like very like, it felt generic,
Damiani,
even though it really wasn't, you know?
Yeah. Damiani, do you agree, or am I crazy? Like, I want to call out every so-called Final Fantasy fan out there. I want to call out the so-called fans, because for me, Damiani, 16 was one of the most Final Fantasy-ass Final Fantasy games ever made, because it was all about the icons, dude. All about these legendary Titan and Garuda and Bahamut. Like, dude, the story is straight up Final Fantasy. Like, I almost treated it like Final Fantasy Origins. Like, they could have called it Final Fantasy Origins, dude. It might have sold more.
I think it's more than just a different coat of paint than the traditional Final Fantasy tropes and different coat of paint. Like, I do think it stretches some things a little bit further. I feel like while that statement, I believe in that statement is that it's true. I think the amount of investment you already need to have in Final Fantasy to comprehend that is a tall ask, and that's not solving the problem of
Great point.
bringing newer players in and retaining players who get sold on any one. If you got sold in Final Fantasy 16 and you jumped into like 10, or you got sold on 10 and you went to like 16. I don't think you're going to draw that distinction right away. I think you're running the risk of like alienating people. So while that's true and that works, like from a thematic and storytelling and gameplay design, it's not working from like building a fan base, retaining the fan base, and ensuring the future of this franchise. I think they need to do a little bit more than just what we saw there. So yes, I do agree with that sentiment, but I also think it doesn't work. It's not good enough. And honestly, yes, I think like Final Fantasy needs to figure out like a way forward. And like the question I was going to ask you, sorry, before I forget, I was stalling for time there. Like what is it makes like the modern Persona so good? Like why are people drawn to those, and like those sell so many copies? Why did Baldur's Gate 3 sell so many copies? Like what is it about those types of RPGs? Those are two wildly different styles of RPGs, but yet they're selling the 10 plus million or whatever that people are like asking for, those franchises. They don't need to literally be like that, but like that's like the missing ingredient that Final Fantasy hasn't had since like Final Fantasy 10. 15, a big exception, obviously. It sold very well, but like in my opinion, since like 10, it's like just really has not gone back to like what Final Fantasy felt like from like 1 to 10. 1 to 10 was like, to me, Final Fantasy, with 10 being the beacon for the future, and I felt like they just never properly bounced off of 10 correctly. They just kept going in different directions.
Well, I mean, one of the biggest existential problems that Square Enix has to deal with is, should Final Fantasy be striving to be at such a budget and such a technology
God, I love
showpiece?
that. No, I love that part of it. That's
the
my
problem,
favorite
though.
part of Final
When you
Fantasy.
talk about Persona, when you talk about
Yeah.
when you talk about the Trails series, these are all series that are doing really well because they know how to budget for
Yes.
what their sales are going to be.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Final
Please
Fantasy
don't compromise
is,
the Final Fantasy
is
budget.
trying to budget for
Please.
GTA.
Huber.
don't.
Yes, Blood's right here, Huber. Look at it like another critically acclaimed series I love to death, but also doesn't sell well, but you don't see this shit following it. Xenoblade. Xenoblade Chronicles. Those games do not have the budget that Final Fantasy
But this
has.
is the problem. Final Fantasy
but-
is selling extraordinarily well. It is not
Yeah.
selling it to its budget.
Yeah.
But Xenoblade is, and it like only sells like 1, 2, 3 million copies, and it's like it's not gonna like that's not being the breakout success that like you need for Final Fantasy. I wouldn't say emulate that formula necessarily, but like technology and development cost wise, like they've got that down. And honestly, we can talk about because the demo just dropped recently, the Metaphor demo. I'm playing that on PlayStation 5, and like art style and menus, like chef's kiss, but like technologically that thing's like a high-end PS3 like first gen PS4 game. When I'm looking at those character models, I'm like, it's not going crazy, but like it's probably Metaphor probably will likely sell more than Final Fantasy
Millions,
16 in the end of the day. And it's like, what you got to learn a lesson at some point. Like, okay, PS4, it's a PS4 game, chat. Don't get off my back. Not PS3, PS4. But like the important lesson here is like, yeah, if you want Final Fantasy to be what it still is, you gotta like change the development costs and like bring it down to like 1 to 3 million sales is like hitting or beating expectations for that franchise. But that feels like my heart just sinks so much when I think that's its future, because I still believe there is a chance to like get it back to where it is aiming for 5 to 10 million again, and they should swing for that. And I truly believe, with the bottom of my heart, if Square Enix has any sense at all at the highest level, that you have a Switch 2 development kit. We know you do. Don't lie. Start making that shit for Switch 2. Like, it needs to be on Switch 2 day one, and then everything else day one. PS4 day one, PS5 day one, PC day one, but all the Xbox platforms day one, everything day one. Enjoy your 10 million sales. There you go.
Do you think Square Enix makes Final Fantasy different every time because Dragon Quest is allowed to be similar every time?
I'm sorry?
Do you think
Because
Do you think Square Enix wants each Final Fantasy entry to be dramatically different from one another because you have the traditional turn-based Dragon Quest.
Oh, no.
Rarely
I don't think
changes its style.
those two are not. I don't think that's related
That's
at all.
been the
No,
case for both of those.
Yeah, no, that's
series
not a
since
good
before they
conclusion to
merged.
draw.
So,
No.
Got it.
No.
Just
I don't think that. But watch Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D sales.
Oh, it's gonna be huge.
Like how well that is probably gonna do, and it's just showing something. Like yes, like I understand what they were doing with like so. I'll be frank. Remake trilogy is gonna be fine. Like the panic over remake trilogy is misplaced. That is the most, my opinion, the most short-sighted panic I've ever seen because they are gonna repackage that. It's gonna be an evergreen thing for 10 years that they're gonna make their money back and then some in spades with that thing. That's never gonna be an issue. The issue is Final Fantasy 16 and its sales and making truly brand new entries because they could keep remaking all the old games, over and over again, and that could just be the future of Final Fantasy. But that seems also like at some point that is going to have diminishing returns as well.
But I think again,
they got to figure something out.
It goes back, I think, a lot to that art direction. It's like they went for a gritty, kind of more Western-ish art direction with 16, to the point where dumb Annie, there's so many times when I just wanted to find a good shot of Clive, like key art or something like that, and I would go to the website and I would look at the stuff they had for Clive, and I'm like these are cool illustrations to put on a wall, but these are not good for thumbnails and marketing and stuff. I can't. What do I do with this freaking
Clive's
game?
The best.
And so there was definitely those kinds of issues. I really do think kind of diminished its appeal to get people in the door that otherwise would probably have enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I just know there is still a future for Final Fantasy and it could still be a big name, but I mean. I also have to maybe accept that maybe there is nothing they can do. Maybe this is just a way of things. Too much. I hate using the word damage, but too much has already happened, has transpired. There's too much baggage. Let's use baggage instead of damage. There's too much baggage with the series that it really won't be able to break free again and forge a new identity or embrace an older identity.
They've got a freaking concert tour going every year. They've got a really, really strong base, and they just need that one thing that's gonna hook in some new players.
That's what I want to believe.
Younger generation there. That's I've heard that too. That some people think that Final Fantasy is for old people and for my mom and dad, and they need to figure out how to bridge that gap. That's not just making a chocobo kart racing.
That's the key thing because. The concerts, the merch, I don't think it's young people even going to that as young as you think and buying all that stuff. I feel like the target demographic or the age bracket of people who are the core Final Fantasy people now are late 20s to late 50s. I feel like that is that generation of people who are still invested in Final Fantasy. I feel like they were struggling with the Gen Z age, anyone 18 to 25, they're or younger than 18, or just they're not getting them into Final Fantasy, and nothing they've done seems to click with them. And they've tried different efforts. They've tried mobile efforts, and it just doesn't seem like they're resonating. Where you have even on mobile, other games and other gacha style games are just eating their lunch. It's Genshin Impact. It's you can do something like that where it's yes, it's a lot about the characters and the gacha element, but has a solid gameplay foundation as well, and it's a very beautiful art style and it's really nice. But it also probably doesn't cost them as much to make that game from a technical standpoint, but they do put a lot of value into that. And Square Enix really hasn't made a very successful gacha game or gacha experience like that either. They've also misfired. So I think Ever Crisis is still going on, and they just had the Bahamut costumes, and I still see people interested in that, but that doesn't seem anywhere near where a Final Fantasy VII gacha style game should have been. Goes back to the marketing. That game was not initially marketed as what we thought it was going to be. So it feels like there's a lot of moving parts that are not gelling with each other at Square Enix right now. They're doing a lot right, but at the same time, I feel like there's some kind of disconnect going on there, and they're also struggling with this generational issue of like, I feel like their like best maybe broader title is like maybe like Nier at this point, and Dragon Quest and Nier, like
Life is
Nier.
Strange.
Life is Strange, you think appeals to like more younger people? All right. I feel like Nier was it, but like how many years have like been since Nier, and they just keep doing crossovers with it. So it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Good thoughts though.
I love hearing you talk about Final Fantasy so much. So much. Damn.
Yeah. I don't know if I have anything else to add at this point. We should probably move on.
Yeah,
But-
sorry.
Well, now all eyes
No, we're
are
good.
on Final Fantasy VII Part 3.
Yes. No, it really will be
Oh.
because there are definitely going to be people that once it's out, then it's like now I want to catch up. Or
Now
whatever.
you buy you buy the trilogy pack.
Sure.
Whatever.
I think it'll be more telling with like if it's not already locked into an exclusivity deal. If part 3 can be the first one to
to be
break
on Steam.
onto
Yeah,
multiple
yeah.
platforms,
Yeah.
Smart.
or even earlier if it comes before. I would look at like Kingdom Hearts 4. Also, like Kingdom Hearts is a huge wild card for them because that is a generational series right there that can appeal, that has like the biggest mass appeal. What I got Hubert broke up with Kingdom Hearts.
I try to forget about it, all right? I try to forget.
All right, I got to talk about a game. I've been playing this week some bits of What the Car.
What the car?
This is from the makers of What the Golf
What the golf?
and What the Bat.
What the? I don't know if I ever played that one.
And this is one of our games that was freed from Apple Arcade.
This game
Yes.
looks so fun. I remember seeing this. And it was like, Apple, no.
Yeah, so now I've been playing on PC. I think it's on console as well. I don't remember
Dude.
if all platforms, but anyways,
Tell me it's great, blood.
it's so fun. It's so ridiculous.
Nice.
All right, got the
and-
blood stamp of approval. That's
Hell
good.
yeah. What the
and
car?
it's it still has like that sort of like mobile like quick fix design, right?
Yeah.
But the basic premise is that you have these quick little platforming levels, and every one of them kind of has like a different goofy weird take on what's going on with this car, right? So it's like it's never just a normal car that you drive around on wheels. And so like the one that's on the screen right now is like the car's got legs, but the legs aren't actually working. But you also have a
just, like,
jetpack.
Floppy legs are so funny.
But he's got like a little face and stuff like that. But like on the map, like you run around with your little legs.
Yeah.
But then like sometimes like like, oh, you got like super long legs. Other times you got like too many legs. Sometimes you've got like, oh, this is like a car with jump but too much, and it's just covered in springs.
So funny.
And like just like the humor of like because like every level begins with like you getting launched out of a cannon. And when you launch out of the cannon, then like it basically shows like the name of the level.
Yeah.
And so you basically never know what the heck you're gonna wind up
I love
with.
this bear village you're in.
There's bears all over the place.
Awesome.
The whole game's got bears everywhere. And then there's like these collectibles that are in these weird, hard to reach spots. And so it's like,
This looks very fun.
so you basically like you have your 3 goals. So it's like per level, like you get to the end, find the one little collectible thing, and get the gold crown.
Nice.
So it's like you kind of like it's like one of those games where you run back.
Yeah.
But then you get like
want
ridiculous
100%
levels
it.
like this, and like, wait, all of it, car is Frog, and like now I'm just playing Frogger.
Dude,
Like,
so cool.
yeah, and it's so, and that's what I mean. Like every level, you really don't know what's gonna happen, right? Like, car on a ball, car is a ball, soccer the ball. I don't even have footage of this one, but I had
Oh,
one.
you didn't get gold on that one, dude?
where
That one's
my-
like gold.
Yeah, so and this is the map here. So like I'm just going off into this like random swamp that was out on the
Dredge.
map.
It's all of a sudden dredge.
And so so the maps, Damiani, are kind of like a Mario 3D World or something where you like wander around. And there are like little objectives that are out there on the maps and collectibles.
I've actually seen it. I let my nephew play this on Apple Arcade a while ago, and they were having a blast with this. So, hey, widespread appeal. There you go.
There it is.
But it looked
Square Enix,
amazing. It looked so fun.
dude.
They were having a blast. It looked so fun.
And like the music is really playful too. So it's like you've got like a lot of like whistling and like little tubas and like these vocals are like it's like constantly like singing like what the car and like and this is one of the skull levels, Huber. So that's the thing. If you
So these are harder.
if you explore the
Challenge
map,
runs.
you will find
Champions Road.
and even getting to the skull levels are kind of hard sometimes, Huber.
Nice.
So like there was one where it's like to get to the skull level, there was like these islands out there, and there were like these whales swimming around, and so like I had to like jump onto the whale and like bounce off of it on the map. I'm on the map doing
That's
this
awesome.
to find the skull level that they were leading to. And yeah, this one is like car with an umbrella, like Mary Poppins.
Dude,
You
this
have to
one
like
looks
learn the momentum of the gliding.
Dang.
It looks amazing.
And it's like
I want to play right now. I have 40 games to play. I want to play this right now.
it's not quite like nightmare physics usually, but like one of the things is that like with every little change, like you kind of have to learn how to control it again. You know, it's like because sometimes you won't even. Oh yeah, this is the whale jumping bit. Sometimes you won't even be able to control your momentum. Like your car is just going to move forward,
Yeah, okay.
and so
Like
there.
automatically. So
Yeah.
you're just steering and jumping.
Yes,
Sometimes.
but you have an obstacle course, so you've
Yeah.
like you don't
Yeah.
want to get slowed down by hitting too many things. Stuff
Totally.
goes flying all over the
Are you-
place.
Is that just for some levels the car automatically moves?
It depends on what is attached to your car.
Got it,
essentially.
got it,
So
got it.
like one of the ones where like I couldn't control my acceleration
Yeah.
was car is too wide, and a car is so wide that when it says that it goes out of the frame. And so it's just this big long rectangle. And then you've got to like try to navigate it through like these, kind of tight spaces and stuff like that.
Great humor.
And then what else? Oh yeah, things are kind of grouped into like episodes of levels. And even like within an episode, like you'll go off in a different direction. So like things kind of like build and stack on each other a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this was an amazing skull level here with this. It's like I have a jetpack and I have springs.
So fun.
And then I don't know if this is if Don got this run. Oh no, this is when I'm getting the collectible. But there is a point, which may end up being here a little bit later, where like I got hit by the bear thing spinning around just
Yeah.
right to where like
Launched it into it.
I basically speed ran that level.
That's so
I
funny.
launched all the way up to the goal.
Yeah. Awesome.
But the level episode, so like one is like all about work, and so instead of wheels, your car is just on a bunch of office chairs rolling around. There's another one where it's like car has a cold and you're facing backwards and you're just like sneezing to move forward.
That's funny.
There's another one with like a copy machine and you were moving forward by like spewing out copy paper. Yeah, that's the shortcut.
Crazy, dude.
Totally unintentional. There's the Frogger one I showed you. There's one where it's like just a giant foosball table.
How long are we talking?
What's that?
This whole game, how long are we talking?
I don't know. I like, and that's the thing, Hubert. This is what I like. I really appreciate about this game is like, I don't think that you should play this game like to like binge it, get through it all at once. I'd like.
This is you play a couple levels before you go to sleep at night.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
you doing a round of Blotcher, right?
Exactly.
Like you do an episode of levels. It's like cool. I got my fix. And then the other thing too is like how much you want to run it back. Like
Yeah.
there's some levels where like I'm
You
gonna
need it.
I'm gonna get that gold, and
Love
there are
that
others like
feeling.
okay, I got silver. I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah, and some of them will just be like really stupidly short, and you just
Yeah.
move on to the next one.
It looks very fun.
So
Lord.
they're all over the place.
Dang.
Yeah.
A game that has looked good since we saw it.
Right.
And then now that you've played it and confirm it, it's like, okay, I need to make time for this. I need to squeeze it in.
It's just so silly. It's
Yeah.
so funny and yeah.
Just one of those games, dude. Like everyone is so fucking crazy out there sometimes, man. Like just fall in love with video games. It's that simple. Right here. Right here. Great example.
Another one I got after the capture. You have giraffes for wheels.
Nice. Nice.
Big old things going around.
Nice.
But then like I could like actually climb up things with them and stuff.
Dude.
Yeah.
So it just completely changes the way you interact with
That's
the
what I
level.
mean.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
like
yeah.
when you get into a level,
Yeah.
it's like, what the heck is happening
Like,
right
what am
now?
I doing here?
Yeah. Like with this, it's like, wait, I'm not moving. What? I'm throwing a soccer. Oh, I'm throwing a
Oh,
soccer
that's
ball
fun.
as a bowling ball, and if I hit the pin, I move to the next platform.
That's so fun.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
fun little game.
What the car?
What the car? Huber,
Yo.
your turn. You've been playing Shadows of Doubt.
Shadows of Doubt, dude.
Some like noir voxel detective game.
Yes, this game was on my radar for close to a year now. Eurogamer, the best website of all time, like last year or something, was like, yo, this is one of the best games of the year, even though it's early access.
Right.
I was like, okay, I'll wait. So this finally came out, 1.0. Let's get the bad stuff out of the way so we can just talk about how brilliant this game is. Play this on PS5. Do not play this on PS5.
Nope. Okay.
Bugs,
Wow.
bugs, frame rate, glitches. Like, dude, this game is not ready for consoles.
Crazy.
It's not. We're not
okay.
ready. We're not there yet. Like, many patches away. I feel like from being up to snuff. Full disclosure. Like, yeah, very rough on consoles and the controller as well. This is a very mouse and keyboard kind of game.
Okay.
So if you're thinking about playing this, look for the Steam version. If that's not an option for you, wait until you hear that the game is in a better state, because I corroborated my story with other reviews of the console version, and
Yeah.
they said the same thing.
Okay.
So it's not
But it
just
seems
me.
like the PC version is more solid.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So this game is brilliant. It is so brilliant. The premise is that you are in a alt reality, right? It's like 1980s. The mega corporations have taken over, Blade Runner vibes. Water has risen, like global warming, catastrophe, all that. So it is like kind of cyberpunky, like Blade Runner vibes for sure. Like Blade Runner, big film noir vibes, of course. And you are a detective, and you can play like a pre-made storyline, like a tutorial basically, but primarily this game is procedurally generated all the way through.
Oh,
From
crazy.
top to bottom, okay? So what that means is you pick one of 3 cities, which are always the same, by the way. So those are not procedurally.
The city itself is not.
The city
Okay.
itself is locked. So there's 3 of them you can choose from. So you'll choose a city, and then everything will procedurally generate the characters and what they're doing and the murder itself. Basically, you're trying to stop a murder. You'll start a new game and there'll be a murder, and you have to figure out who did it. And
Huber, have we had a Hitman game like this? Because I feel like we could play the other way around.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I think I like it. And the amount of freedom in this game is staggering. Like, it is 100% an immersive sim. You have basically no direction. Person got murdered, figure it out. Like, this game does not hold your hand, Damiani. This is like the anti-hold your hand video game. And so one of them I did is, a note slips under your door. By the way, you can customize your apartment. You can buy an apartment. There's like life sim shit in here where you need to eat. If you fall off a building or whatever, you'll break your leg. You'll need to put a splint in it.
Oh, wow.
People will be annoyed by you. If you go into somewhere you're not supposed to, they might attack you. If you go to a bar and you linger without buying anything, they'll get annoyed, but you can get a perk to change that, so you can just like hang out at bars.
That's so funny.
It's like all these weird immersive sim things that I am obsessed with. So one of the first cases, right? The tutorial, like, note slips under the door. This will just give you a sense of how this game is played. Note slips under the door. It's like, so-and-so has been murdered. Okay. So what do? You go to the phone book. You look up that person. Where do they live? They live in this apartment building. You then walk to that apartment building. You go up. All right, there's a crime scene in there. You got to get into the crime scene. You can pick the locks. You can find a vent to get in. You can look under the mat because some people will leave their keys
Right.
under the mat. Like crazy, right? You'll go in, you find a way in, right? You find the body. Then you examine the body. You have a fingerprint thing where you can like find fingerprints
Nice.
all over the house.
Back to the key on the mat thing.
Yeah.
Did you wander around looking for other keys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was like, you mad? Huh? You going over here? You going over here? Yeah. I immediately, bud. Because you go into this apartment building, it's like 10 stories or something. So there's like a lot of rooms to go in. Every room you can go in one of this game. Like there's no invisible walls, Wukong. And you have, this big Alan Wake style board where you can like connect the dots and stuff. And it's like, this person was shot. So we need to find a gun. We need to find, there's a shell casing under there with a fingerprint on it, but we don't know whose fingerprint that is. So then it's like, okay, what should I do? Like, then I start asking around in the building. Like, did you hear anything suspicious? Asking the neighbors, what did you see? What did you, So it is just one of those games where it gives you the tools to solve the crime, and that is it. I mean, it gives you one objective, and you got to figure everything out on your own. And of course, this is a game of patience. There are moments where you are just wandering around. Yeah, you don't know what to do. Like, you have to figure everything out on your own.
Nice.
So yeah, I am very, very impressed with it. The console version is super duper sketchy right now, so wait and see on that. But I mean, this game, it just feels special. I mean, it's the whole like Minecraft voxel visuals as well, and it's just extremely immersive, and I'm in love with it. Like, it is very one of those games where you kind of have to, fight against it a little bit because the learning curve is so steep, and there are moments of wandering and confusion, but when
Right.
it hits, when you start chasing down leads from one spot to the next, like, it is incredible.
Nice.
Yeah, excellent game. Just kind of wait and see for a couple months here, see how it all.
Did you move over to PC or are you just fighting through it?
I just fought through it on console, yeah.
Okay.
But and then the PC version, I looked into it, and people were saying, it's definitely better than the consoles. So I just, yeah. But the only thing I can confirm is that other people also had console problems.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Cool.
yeah.
We've got more to come, but if you've been enjoying the show so far, please take a second to like and subscribe, ring that bell on YouTube, tell all your friends about Easy Allies. It helps us, it helps you stay connected. And now, a word from our sponsors.
When you think about businesses that sell through the roof, that just like sell a lot of stuff, obviously you think about their product and their service or whatever, but do you ever think about the back end of their website or what helps them sell all that stuff? Like the businesses behind the business of selling all of the things you love. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. Home of the #1 checkout on the planet, and the not-so-secret secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout that Cotopaxi, Allbirds, Heinz, Magic Spoon, Death Wish Coffee, Skims, a bunch of brands, the one that they use. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/allies, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/allies to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/allies.
And if you are a patron of Easy Allies, thank you. All right. Every month we get a top 10 from our patrons. This month, the top 10 schools.
Great.
Yeah. So if you want to get in on this, get in $5 tier, you get in our
Fantastic.
Discord, and look out for those announcements. This month's rules, as I was told, any place of learning for people of any age in any subject will count.
Okay.
The emphasis here is on location, not teachers. Abandoned schools count as long as they are clearly former schools.
First
Let's go
question.
Silent Hill, baby.
Last of Us Part 1. Let's go.
Also, Chad is very proud of the nomination for Wishy Washy, which is a Pokemon that is a school of fish.
Oh my god.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so I've got our top 10, and then I've got many more beyond that. We go up to
All
44 on this one.
Wow.
I don't know if you want to throw out
Blackwell
any
Academy.
guesses. It's
The what?
there.
Top 10?
It's in the top 10.
Yes. Don't tell me. Don't spoil it for me, but it's there. Okay.
Where's the Final Fantasy VIII school that everyone
Oh,
loves?
hell yeah.
It's in the top 10.
Nice.
All
Where's
right.
Bergenworth?
Bergenworth is in the top 10.
Oh, hell yeah. We're nailing these. Is Silent Hill 1 on there?
Wait, Bergenworth is top 10?
I don't think it's a top 10,
What's
but
that?
Bergenworth is in the top 10?
Yes, it is.
Amazing.
Silent Hill 1.
Silent Hill 1. That one I'm not sure about.
Chat, did you...
Did
It's at 12.
All right, that's pretty good.
Did,
How about this
uh,
obscure? Obscure.
Oh my gosh, that game. Nope.
Philistines.
They're not old enough.
They're not old enough. I haven't even...
Skyward Swords Academy. Did that make it in there?
Oh. I don't know. Yeah, Knights Academy 22.
What's that one game where you're like a wizard at a school? I played it. It's like top down. Remember that? I streamed it. The hell is that game?
Careful now.
What is that game? Like begins with a W's or something. Word mirth or
Gandalf
something.
2 is what...
Word mirth?
Word mirth.
Oh.
Word
Word mirth. Classic.
Damn it! What is that game? It's like Life is Strange vibes. but-
Wildermyth?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that
I think
game.
so.
I don't think it's in there.
Okay.
I'm not even sure if that's the game you're thinking of. I'm curious if
Oh,
I pulls up
yeah.
a screenshot if you'll
I think
recognize
it is.
Chad
I think
asked
it
about
is.
School from Tony Hawk.
Oh, that's great.
Oh.
That's in the top 10.
Fuck
Hell
yeah,
yeah,
dude. Shout out to
Chad.
Jamie
Hell
Thomas, Leap of
yeah.
Faith. Let's go every time.
Any other thoughts before we get into it?
Oh, Bully. Chad's got some good ideas.
Oh yeah, Bullworth. Let's go.
Bullies in the
Jedi
top 10.
Academy.
That's top 3. If Bullworth isn't top 3, this list is discredited immediately.
Jedi
Ooh.
Academy? Not there.
Ooh.
There's a Jedi Enclave at 32.
I mean,
for Knights of the Old Republic.
Persona's definitely in here. I just don't know
Yeah.
which one.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't know which one.
Multiple of them, actually.
Yeah, we've got multiple personas. One of them is in the top 10.
What about
Ooh.
Famicom Detective Agency? That school was creepy.
Famicom Detective Agency?
Yeah. Wasn't that what that was called?
There's Famicom Detective Club,
That one.
but there's no Famicom anything on the list, unfortunately.
All right.
Hit us.
Yeah, hit it.
Yeah. All right. I had to search to find my way back there. Top 10. Tied for 10th place. Balam Garden from Final Fantasy VIII.
Hell
There it
yeah.
is.
Whispering Rock from Psychonauts.
Rock from Psychonaut. That is a good one, dude. That is such a good one. I should have known that.
Yep. Tied for 7th place. Academy of Rhea
isn't that a
Lucaria.
summer camp though?
Oh yeah, Ray Lucaria,
What?
Of course.
Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, somehow counted as a school. But there you go. There you go.
Okay.
Sakura High School from 13 Sentinels.
Oh.
I don't
And-
like 13 Sentinels.
I love this. The Vo and Yu School from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom,
That's very funny.
where the girls have classes to learn how to interact with boys.
It's very funny.
6th place, School 2 from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Hell yeah, Leap of Faith, dude.
5th place
So iconic.
is Bergenworth.
Oh, hell yeah,
Nice.
fifth, dude, sick.
3rd place is a tie. Got Bullworth.
Bullworth, baby.
There
Top
you go,
3.
made it.
Nailed it.
and the University of Eastern Colorado. The Last of Us.
Sure. I mean, there's some really good parts in that section. Like my favorite part in the whole franchise, actually. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Second place, Shujin Academy, Persona 5.
There it is.
So Persona 5 got the top 10 over Persona 4. Interesting.
And first,
Recency bias.
Caldwell.
Blackwell Academy.
Caldwell. What is Caldwell? Why did I say Caldwell? What is Caldwell?
Is that from Jason Bourne?
Caldwell.
No, that's
Max's
Caldwell is
last name was Caulfield, yeah.
that was something Stone in
Bankers?
Bourne,
Yeah.
right?
That was Caldwell. Where did I pull that from?
I mean, Caldwell's a name for sure.
Number 1, though. That's good.
Yeah.
Well done.
So
It is the
others,
best.
12th place, we had Kaer Morhen from Witcher 3, paired with Midwich Elementary and Silent Hill.
Hell yeah.
Care more.
Dude, happy that's up there. That almost made the top 10, dude. That's correct.
Yeah.
Garreg Mach Monastery made it
Oh,
in 14th.
shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Fire Emblem.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
As well as Winterhold from Skyrim. 16th is where Wishy Washy ended up, that school of Pokemon.
Wishy-washy.
Doki Doki, that's funny.
Persona 4 ended up at 16th as well.
Nice.
Okay.
Doki Doki High School is at 18th.
Good game.
Love that.
Tied.
2 Point Campus.
With Gekkokan High School from Persona 3.
From Persona
Nice,
3.
nice.
Also tied with Hogwarts.
I'm surprised by that.
21st is 2 Point Campus.
Hell yeah.
And then let's see, I don't know what else. We don't want to go through all of them. See what else. Escape Academy's
That's funny.
in there, 25th.
Huh.
The Hatano School from Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, that's really cool. That's a neat little spot where you go.
Oh, the
and-
elementary from Dead Space
that-
2. That's funny.
The X-Mention from X-Men Legends, Hubert.
I mean, yeah.
That is
It's a
great.
school. Hell yeah.
Oh, also Huber. Titan Elementary from Dead Space 2.
I was
that
gonna say
Creep
Dead Space
City.
before we.
Yeah.
That was. But it's funny because I was like Dead Space 2. Oh wait, no, it's a nursery. Oh, but there's actually the school too. Yeah, I like stopped myself. It's like, hell yeah.
Yep. I'm trying to see if got any others.
Oh, they got Titan Elementary from Dead Space 2 on here. That's
That's
pretty
the one we
good.
just said. Yeah.
Oh, you said it first? Oh, okay.
Remake Dead Space 2, cowards.
Yeah. So there you go. Down at 44th was Nisa Academy at Chained Echoes.
Where's the Zariman 10-0 chat? If you're real ones, if you're a real Tenno, you would know.
Tenno. Is Beavis and Butthead on there?
No.
Damn.
But next month's theme, October vibes.
Oh.
Scariest sound in a video game.
Dude, that's so good. That's so good.
Nominations are going to open up on October 9th. So get into that Discord and get ready to do some nominations.
God, I have so many thoughts.
Clicker.
The Silent Hill Siren is good. The fucking
s-
Pyramid Head dragging his fucking sword is crazy.
The sound.
Butcher knife.
The sound of a clicker when you're playing permadeath is a fear like no other. It's like, oh frick.
Yep.
One wrong move, it's all over.
All right, Isla, your
Huh?
turn.
Oh.
We got another game. One that some people are liking, but is not quite hitting for Isla. First couple hours so far.
What you gotta do me like that?
Not quite hitting.
It's the context.
It happens, dude. It happens.
Good music in the trailers, though.
Can't love everything.
Yeah. Listen, it's a huge JRPG and I've played like 3 or 4 hours of it, so it's like very possible that just like later it would. Yeah, I don't know. It's just this game is beautiful. The graphics are really cool.
Keylocker, by the way. We didn't say the name of this game at all.
Keylocker. The idea of it is very cool, and I love the idea of it. There are a few just little things that were kind of bothering me, and I think maybe it's just because it's a giant JRPG and it's having a bit of a slow start, and maybe because I picked the sequencer class, and it's a little more of a support class, that for the parts in the early game where you're by yourself, combat was kind of irritating.
Yeah, she couldn't do anything without being attacked first. It was all like counterattacking.
My two main attacks were counterattacks, and you have to time your block to their attack, but it's not. If it's synced to the music, I don't know, because sometimes there's kind of just not music, but it's mostly just synced to their animation, and it's kind of just like wait till they flash white and you've got 5 frames or whatever to like hit the button and then you do it or not. But it gets irritating when like there were a few battles I was in against scrub enemies where they would attack me, I would get a perfect block, but I would get pushed back, and then my retaliation is only one. It's like at a range of 1.
Because it's kind of like a hex kind of like grid that you're fighting on.
Yeah. And so like I couldn't do damage half the time unless I just got lucky and they pushed me still within range of themselves. Little things like that were kind of bothering me. But like overall, the world is cool. The story is cool. The graphics are really good. The music seems good. And I think maybe just sequencer is a better support class than a main character class for a first choice. Like there were, you had a choice of I think 4 classes. There was kind of like Juggernaut, I think was the offensive one, which I would have changed to if I could respec. I found a guy that lets you respec, but it just lets you respec your skill points, not your class, as far as I could tell.
Got it. Yeah.
But maybe there was some other place to do it, and I just don't know. There's a samurai. There was a hacker, and there's a sequencer. I think those are the 4.
Prefer to be called a sequencer.
This is an Ableton system. I know this. But yeah, I mean, this game, and like from the trailer, it looks like the game goes places and does a bunch of other crazy stuff. So I think it's just like, I had thought it would be a quicker start maybe than it was. And so like my opinion is kind of just early game. So I think that a lot of people will probably be into this, but from my early impressions and picking that class, I think I just made some poor choices with my starter class. Maybe. But yeah.
I mean, it goes back to what I was saying with Dragon Age. It's like when you have different classes, it would really, really be helpful to like give these classes a test run.
Yeah.
Figure out like what
they describe
you want to do. Yeah.
But it would have been cool to see like a little video of it in action, or like, and it says defensive or offensive, but like you don't know the battle system.
Right.
So yeah. I don't know. It's a game I want to like, and from the early impressions, there's a lot there to like, and I think that my gripes were just kind of like weird specific things. So I don't know. Yeah, give it a shot. See if you will like it.
Looks really cool visually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched every one of those trailers from start to front because the music has been good in every single one of them.
Nice.
Like I'm just
From
like
start
this
to
song.
front.
Yeah. Huber, what the heck is Go Mecha Ball? This is a game.
Hell yeah, dude.
That came out
in the beginning of this year, baby.
Yeah, earlier
Early
this year on
watch.
PC and Xbox, and now it's on PlayStation and Switch.
Yes.
What the heck is it?
Shout out to MinMax for letting me know about this one.
Got it.
Don, you are a pinball type character. You're a mech, but you can fold
okay.
up into a ball.
Okay.
Don's gone.
And that is how you traverse these levels. Again, let me get the negatives out of the way real quick. Just one. This is maybe the worst sound design, sound mixing I've ever heard in my life. Straight up.
Okay.
This game,
I don't know, man.
bro.
Too Human is still out there.
Bro, I'm telling you, I take my headphones out. I would rather just play with no sound. Okay. I'm not even kidding. It's just noise in your head with no discernible, like the music. It's crazy. It's just noise. It's not sound. It's noise. Whatever. Game is really cool. Game plays really well, right? It is a roguelite, so I love it. I'm in. And basically there's little arenas, and you have to survive 3 waves in these arenas, and the primary way to move around is to fold up into a ball, and when you kill an enemy, like when you roll into a ball, you can do like a dash attack. That's
Nice.
one of your primary attacks.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you have your ball dash attack. You have your 2 guns that you can pick up on the field. You know, you can get like shotguns and machine guns and like spreader guns, whatever. And then you can also get abilities like a grenade or something, or like a big slam down.
Nice.
But
okay.
so basically, you know, you go into an arena, you survive 3 waves, and then you go on to the next one. Sometimes in between the stages are shops. So there are 2 different currencies. You can get coins to buy items from the shop. Those go away after a run. But then you also get the meta currency, you know, roguelite style, these like blue coins. And with those blue coins, before you start a run, you can invest them into either abilities, equipment, or one other thing I'm forgetting right now. But 3 different shops for those. You put in the money, and that will unlock then cards ability. Like, you know, after each level, you get to choose a buff. you
Right.
know.
Okay.
It'll unlock more of those better ones. So,
Cool.
if, for example, like there's damage, gun damage 1. Your guns are a little stronger. Eventually, you'll get like gun damage 2. So it's like
I'm sure there's like a gun speed as well. that kind of thing.
exactly.
Yeah,
Oh, one of my favorites is actually when you ram someone with your ball, then your rate of fire goes up. So you'll like ram into them, start shooting them really fast. Ram into them again. Ammo you need to watch out for when you kill when you kill an enemy with your collision attack, they'll drop ammo. So you are incentivized to use that. And then every once in a while, there's a big boss enemy. And yeah, and that's pretty much the whole game. Like, pretty mellow story. They're just trying to have fun is like the theme of the game is like this planet has been invaded by like anti-fun aliens or just something really silly.
Right.
Not a big part of the game is story whatsoever. It is basically just roguelite slamming around. Like some of the levels will have little bounce pads too. Like you'll hit them because your spin dash
You
kind
hit
of
an enemy into a bounce pad and bounce them off of it?
Yeah, but also if you go into a bounce pad, you'll launch off it and do a lot of damage to enemies.
Okay,
so
good.
you have to use the environment accordingly. But yeah, it just feels really good. Runs don't last too long, which I appreciate in a roguelite, like Darkest
Right.
Dungeon 2, you'll see me on a run sometimes for like 2-3 hours. It's like, wow, that's a journey.
Yeah.
This, 20 minutes.
That's it.
15, 20 minutes. The progression is nice. The progression, though, is also a little weird because I told you about the blue meta currency. When you're
Right.
done, you'll like put it into this machine, but I am fairly certain that the machine sometimes spits out abilities you already have. So I'm like, well, I just want to like
And then, what happens when you pick it up? Yeah.
then it's just like, okay, now you have it for this run already, which is good for that specific run. But it's like, I just want to like unlock the better stuff. I don't know if that's like by design. They just want you to play longer, But that kind of annoyed me when I was like, I swear I already had this ability. Because like, dude, you'll play a whole run, like 20-ish minutes, and you'll get like 30-ish blue coins, and like one of those abilities is like 15 to unlock.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So it's like, dude, I don't want to go on a whole run and then not unlock any permanent items in a roguelite. Like, that's not fun.
Yeah.
So I gotta like get those inner workings down a little better. But I've finished 2 of the bosses. I think there's like 4 or so.
Okay.
So I'm fairly into it. Doesn't seem like a terribly long game. But yeah, just pretty unique, cool mashup of pinball-ish, roguelite-ish, top-down, isometric shooting. Like, there's a lot going on here, but it's very, very easy and simple to pick up.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like there's good movement. Which
Really
is
good
really
movement.
Good. Yeah.
Super good movement. Like, when you start getting in the rhythms of, like, launching off an enemy, going into a tube, shooting up, bouncing off things, like, you get in these rhythms where it feels super good. Also, the shotgun is a rubber duck 10 out of 10. Yeah. It's like this rubber ducky that shoots like boom, boom, boom. Yeah, super cool.
Nice.
So yeah, definitely a small little. If you're into roguelites and little pick up and play games, put it on your radar for sure.
All right. Also this week, boy, that PlayStation 30th anniversary pre-order thing went about as well as everybody expected.
Fuck.
Maybe worse.
Yeah. I could have pre-ordered it, and it's just too expensive right now. You know, I really wrestled with it because
You
I
think
want.
you could have because it sounded like
No, we could. Damiani and I.
You're
Damiani
talking about
and I
the
were in the regular.
You're talking about the regular
regular
Pro, not the
Pro.
30th anniversary version, which
Damiani and I were in
I'm talking about
communication.
the 30th, but
yeah.
yeah.
the 12,300
Yeah.
unit version or whatever was kind of a chaos.
People
The
were talking about
controllers,
like they
though-
tried to get into the queue, but they didn't know where they were in the
Yeah.
queue, and then they would get to things and they wouldn't be able to buy
Yeah.
them even though they'd gone through the queue. And
The
it's like
controllers though were
full
readily
nightmare.
available, which was nice. Like Grumbomb pre-ordered 2 of them
Okay.
separately. He like pre-ordered one, got back in line, pre-ordered another one. Like
Yeah,
So the
I got
controllers
mine,
thankfully
yeah.
were chill, and even the base Pro, you know, by like
Yeah.
even like 1 or 2 p.m. You know, they went on sale at like 7 our time, and by like 1 or 2 they were still there, and I was just like wrestling with it in my brain. I was like, I want it so bad, but there's no like killer app just yet where it's like I need to play that specifically on Pro.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the sell for the Pro right now are older
Yeah.
games running better, like Rebirth, like Last of Us Part 2. So I'm waiting for like a Death Stranding 2 type where it's like
Sure,
look
sure,
at the
sure.
differences here.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting just a little longer. Yeah. But yeah.
Sega announced Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. I wrote in Kiwami, believe it or not. It's ridiculous. Hubert played it. We did a preview. Go watch that. Just a quick anything you want to say before we keep going?
Pirate Majima, what more do you need to say?
Yeah. Watch that preview. All right, is Don back? Atari 50 has DLC that is out now. The wider world of Atari includes 19 more games,
Awesome.
Okay.
plus 8 new video segments, including an interview with the designer of the Atari logo.
So cool.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, which is really cool. Like, because I know Chris Kohler, who works on all of these. He used to be a writer and stuff for Wired and Kotaku, a bunch of other places. But he had said that like after they were pretty much done with Atari 50, he went to like some anniversary party, and he was talking to somebody, just small talk, just meeting people. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I designed a logo." And she's like, "Well, I've got to talk to you."
Awesome.
But yeah, so I saw some clips that they had, and like, man, the
Superbug Arcade. Whoa.
they have the alternate the potential what the logos could have been in there and stuff too. And it's like, oh yeah, they went with the right one. Like just the iconic Atari logo. Like
It's
you can
iconic.
never go wrong. Yeah.
It's so iconic for sure.
Mild sexual themes on the Atari?
Mild sexual themes.
Mild sexual themes.
yeah.
I mean,
maybe
they
one
do-
of the characters looks naked
They have
because the
8
graphics
on
are
the
so
videos
cover
bad.
segments,
art,
Isla.
maybe. On the cover art, yeah.
Yeah, like it could very well be some of those ads. It could be
Yeah,
some of the
yeah.
stories from like who knows what was going on office culture back in the day.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
I really
Don's
wanna
here
s-
now.
I really want to
Nice.
see this racing game at the end, dude. This one looked so fun. Here it's coming.
Oh, the like RC Pro M
It
looking
looked
one, the black and
ama-
white one.
Dude, that looks
that one, the
crazy.
Vectrix full 3D Red Baron.
Dude.
Not Vectrix, but Vector graphics. Yeah, so
That one, Superbug Arcade, that looks so fun, Blood.
yeah. So there is it's a super bug, but it was an arcade game.
Got it.
That's what that was.
So
So
that
there-
obviously predates Outrun or Off-Road by
Oh, by a lot. Yeah.
Crazy.
Second DLC titled The First Console War is coming November 8th.
Wait, sorry, say again.
A second DLC after this one is coming November 8th. That DLC is called The First Console War.
Is that like Atari versus NES or what? What does that even mean?
It's probably Atari versus like Intellivision.
What?
Yeah. So,
Dude.
this current DLC is the wider world of Atari.
Huh.
And then both editions are going to be included in a new expanded version of the collection.
Cool.
Yeah.
These are some of the best things in the industry right now, Blood. These are so awesome.
Yeah.
Do you think other studios will start doing this? Like,
I
what
would-
studio
I have
could
already
you theoretically
I-
see?
I feel like we've already started to see a little
Yeah.
bit more of that in terms of like little, like the manuals and
Yeah.
concept art things, like beyond just a gallery.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing quite on this level yet,
Yeah.
but
Let's get a Final Fantasy
Atari
one of
50
these,
itself
Damiani.
was kind of like
Yeah.
the first step into this sort of like documentary style that they're
Yeah.
doing.
Love it. Love it. More, please. More of these developers, please.
But some of the things that are on there, like Berserk, was like it was like one of the surprise things that was missing from the original collection. And they've got the 2600 version. They've got the voice enhanced version, which I think was like a
Voice enhanced.
I think that was like a homebrew kind of thing that people made later, but they put that in here.
Crazy.
Berserk for the 5200, Berserk for the arcade.
I love when a mod is so essential that they include it in the re-release, like Doom style, where it's just like, yo, this
But
is essential.
they get into that. They talk about this whole community of people,
Yeah.
that were like, while Atari was kind of not doing anything, like they were still into Atari and talking about Atari and all of that. Trying to think about some of these other games. So most of them arcade, 2600. There's an Atari 8-bit game in there. There's a couple of games in there that were Sears exclusive.
What?
Only,
Does Sears still exist?
I just actually think they're done.
No.
Right?
Damn.
It's not that long ago that they went under, but they're
Wow. Sears exclusive game.
Because originally the Atari, before it was called the 2600, which they get into that too. The change from the VCS to the 2600. But that was originally sold like at Sears, like the old wood panel design.
Crazy.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. Don's disappointed there's nothing from like the disc era, the Jaguar era. But
Next one.
maybe the next one.
Next one. Yeah, we're getting there, right?
Yeah.
It would make sense timeline wise if it was the next one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they had stuff like that in the original collection.
Oh, okay.
But I think that with this one being the first console war, it's probably not going to get into Jaguar. It's probably going to be that in television stuff.
Oh, holy shit.
But
Well, it was announced in 2019 that Sears had won its bankruptcy auction,
Whoa.
and that a reduced number of 425 stores would remain open. That was 2019. As of January 2024, there are 12 Sears stores remaining,
12 left.
with
Okay.
11 in the mainland U.S. and 1 in Puerto Rico.
Wow.
So I guess they are kind of still around.
Dude.
Their operating income is negative $1.4 billion.
Holy shit.
Wow.
I'm gonna
as of
buy
2016.
I'm going to get a hard copy of this Atari game and have a manager at Sears sign it.
that's funny. Oh, crap. I didn't give Isla this photo. But it
Huh?
go to AtariSauce.com.
Oh, God, this.
In more Atari news, Atari is introducing a line of 10 hot sauces based on classic games.
Okay. Yo, I got that Persona 5 hot sauce and it's dank. I got the Sojiro curry hot sauce,
Scroll
Persona
down,
5.
you'll see the bottles. There they are. There is Yar's Revenge that has a
Yo.
Yar's Inferno sauce.
Brick Smash barbecue sauce.
Enchanted Berry.
Dude, where's
barbecue
Damiani?
sauce? What the
Damiani,
heck?
dude, I'm going to
Where
Raising
did where did
I
Damiani go?
know.
Oh my god.
I want to go to Raising Cane's with
you
my
can't just
Atari barbecue
disappear
sauce.
like that, dude.
Dude.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, retro classic barbecue. Timeless blend that's as smooth
that's
as
the-
a perfect
that's the
game of Pong.
Sports on the label
I'm doing it.
for the barbecue. There's the Yar's Inferno.
Is that the spiciest one? Yars? I would try that.
I don't know. There's a Phantom Pepper for Haunted House.
Dude. These are fun.
The boxes they come in are incredible.
I was just, Isla, that's so sick.
They look like games? Oh, my God.
That is the best
How
packaging.
much are these?
I know. How much?
I want to say they're
Easy.
like
7 pounds.
yeah,
Easy.
7 pounds, something like that.
I'm buying one. Yep. No, seriously, the Persona 5 hot sauce is really, really good.
oh,
So
is it?
I'm like all about these video game themed hot sauce, barbecue sauce, whatever. This is cool.
We should reach out to them and have them send them to us, and we can do like a hot ones.
Oh, it'd be so fun. It'd be so fun.
Like, I'm not even kidding.
Yep.
I'm not doing that.
We
but,
love video game
make
and
Maybe I'll have the
food
barbecue.
crossovers the most. Easy Allies number 1.
Mystic Dragon for adventure. Oh my gosh.
Love it.
All right. Well, Damiani.
I know.
Damiani missed it.
Damn it, Damiani.
What the
He
heck?
talked about these ad nauseum the other day.
Yeah.
We'll
I think
get there.
one of his cats is doing something. He
Yeah.
ran
We'll
off.
keep it up. Keep it up. We'll bring Damiani back. For now, the MetaQuest 3S was announced this week.
So dumb.
I
and-
never. Who was it? You who said it, Isla? If we don't know now, is S better or worse?
Right. Sometimes
Like-
S is better, sometimes S is worse.
Yeah. Is
It's
this
better for one wheels, it's worse for Xboxes.
Well-
this a better? Oh, Rings of Power though.
So this actually is sort of similar to the Series S for Xbox.
Got it.
In that it's a lower price tag.
Okay.
It's like 200
So
bucks
it's worse.
less.
Yeah. Lower price, worse.
But it has the features essentially, like it can do the things that the better model can do, but it doesn't have as like the high end like lenses. It's got the older style lenses, and it's a bit thicker, a little bit bulkier, but it can do all the things that the other one can do.
Got it.
Oh, but it's $200 cheaper?
$200 cheaper. Yep.
Wow, God.
And then Upload
didn't
VR
realize-
has a good like side by side of like this, like the specifics of like what is better and what is worse and all of that.
That's a good discount.
Yeah. So it's $300. The regular 3 is
$299 US dollars.
$500. And then Huber, here's what they're trying to get you. Every Quest 3S comes with Batman. They all come with Batman. Arkham Shadow.
I gotta find a way to just play it somewhere, dude.
Right.
I gotta find a way. There's gotta be a way.
Yep.
Someone, somewhere. How do I do it?
But Moss announced that they're doing like a visual upgrade because they're like 2 times the resolution of the Quest 2 or whatever.
Yeah. It reminds me of when PS3 first came out for $599 US dollars, and I was like, nope. But my friend had one, and I really wanted to play Uncharted and Resistance, so I was like, oh, let me just borrow it. All right, I played them. I'm good for a year. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like, let me just play
Yep.
Batman. I'm good for like ever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it has. You can get exclusive breathable facial interface accessories for fitness.
Nice.
Actually, kind of interested in that.
Sick.
Huh? They say they're discontinuing the 2 and the Pro by the end of the year. I
Oh,
missed
that makes
That's
sense.
crazy.
That makes sense.
I'm trying to find what you're talking about on. Oh, you can get an open facial interface. That's funny. Jeez. Anyway, sorry.
But Damiani's back.
Damiani's back.
Damiani, you missed us talking about
Dude.
the Atari sauces.
Yeah, you missed all
Oh.
the food block, bro.
What do you take on
Food
this?
block.
Oh, I didn't see them at all.
AtariSauce.com.
They look amazing.
So there's Atari
Yeah, they're here
sauces
too.
based on classic games. So there's a Yars Inferno sauce,
Interesting.
I'm bringing them into Raising Cane's, Damiani.
Phantom Pepper hot
They'll kick
sauce
you
for
out.
Haunted House, Pong Sports barbecue sauce. And they all come in these cute little boxes that look like the original cartridge boxes.
Damiani,
How much are they?
only 7 pounds.
Oh, pounds. So
Like the Will Smith
It's like
movie.
$10.
to even get them over here, it's going to be hefty import costs and everything, huh?
That's why
Damiani,
you have to buy them all.
what's the last video game food crossover you purchased, Damiani? Do you remember?
Can't remember. Wasn't the 14 because Isla was nice enough to help me out with that one, so I didn't have to actually the
Oh yeah, I need to get you
Gongcho one.
that.
Yeah, I got the code for it,
I'll give
so
you the
I didn't have
code,
to
but
go
I have
behind.
the keychain for you. Your boba keychain.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Probably. Oh, Mountain Dew for the Mountain Zoo mount in Final Fantasy 14 earlier this summer. There you go.
Okay, nice. It
I was
counts.
like, I know I'm forgetting it.
It counts.
There you go.
To salvage this run back, though, Damiani, do you know Kung Fu Tea? Is that a place out by you?
Yeah, that it has the. They've done a bunch of collaborations. I know they're doing the Metaphor
Yeah, they announced they're doing
one
the
right
Metaphor
now.
one too,
Yeah, very very interesting.
Sign me up.
Anyways, moving on. Assassin's Creed Shadows delayed
Yeah.
to February 14th.
Shocking. But now we get Dante's Peak and Volcano,
Oh, the same year?
Armageddon and Deep Impact,
Right.
Ghost of Yotei and Assassin's Creed Shadows. We get it, Isla.
Yeah.
Huh?
Never mind.
Same year. They're going to be out in the same
Never
year.
mind.
I got it.
They're probably still
Isla
8
would have.
months
Isla
apart,
would.
but
That was
yeah.
a joke for.
No, I
Isla.
got it. It's great. It's great.
It was for you.
Thank you.
The more interesting bits about this, they are reconfiguring how they're selling it. So
Saw this.
they're getting
This kind of has some
Reconfiguring.
desperation.
they're getting rid of the season pass
Yeah.
whole thing. So and they're not doing the early access period
Yeah.
on it either.
Oh.
Yeah.
So to make up for that,
Make up?
everyone is
That's
going to get the
good.
first DLC included
Yeah.
because they're wiping out all the pre-orders
Yeah.
because the pre-orders included all that stuff.
Wipe them clean.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wipe them out.
Clean slate.
Wipe them out.
New set of pre-orders.
All of them.
Also, coming to Steam, day one.
Smart.
Day one.
Smart.
Star Wars Outlaws not on Steam.
I know.
What the crap?
Crazy. That's why
Yeah.
the sales underperformed.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that they're
What's to
saying,
say,
like,
softer?
oh, Outlaws is underperforming, and so it's like, yeah.
Great game in the end. Outlaws. Little learning curve, little slow start. Great game.
I've been seeing a lot of people that are like, this game is a game you're supposed to take your time with,
100%.
and,
It was
like,
good.
because they did. It's like one of their favorite games of the year or
Yeah, it's
whatever.
really
but
good.
But like, you don't give people 4 days to review that game, right? And hopefully, since they're saying that like this is because of the way Outlaws went down,
Mm-hmm.
and they're saying like the game's feature complete. They're just polishing it.
Yeah.
They're gonna spend the next 2-3 months polishing.
It must have been.
So hopefully they also give reviewers that game
yeah.
with 3-4 weeks early access to like actually experience, because like Valhalla was insane, right?
Totally.
If it's anywhere like half as big as Valhalla, you
Yeah.
need some weeks.
I know. Not to presume, but we were behind the scenes off camera. We were wondering, like, it's surprising we haven't had any hands-on with
Right.
Assassin's Creed Shadows by now, because that game was.
Yeah, when we booked you at Gamescom, like we
Yeah.
didn't even film a thing for Assassin's Creed at Gamescom
Because they showed nothing.
yeah, nothing new, didn't get to play it.
Yeah. So like clearly, now just taking that information of like, okay, there was never a hands-on to, okay, we're delaying it 3 or 4 months into next year. Clearly something is not working like they wanted to.
But I think Star Wars is like kind of the temperature check where it's like, hey, maybe we should give people time. Maybe we should put it on Steam.
Yeah.
Maybe we should polish the game before it's out instead of after it's out.
yeah.
Yeah.
This news broke on my stream yesterday or the day before, and I was like, all right, now that they delayed it 3 or 4 months, when this game comes out, we better not have the standard 3-month time of patches to make it work better Assassin's Creed. When this game now hits day 1, I better not be saying it needs a patch. It better be ready to go.
Right. Well,
Like-
the other thing that I think Ubisoft has shot themselves in the foot, and they've been doing it for over 20 years, they go on sale. Like, they cut the price like
So fast.
3 months later. And so if there's anything at all that you're not sure, you're like, I gotta wait 3 months.
Yeah.
I'll buy it when it goes on sale. Like,
Yeah.
because Ubisoft is going to do that.
Yeah.
So
Outlaws, dude.
I don't know how they fix that perception.
Coming. Yeah.
Because even if you don't do it a couple of times, people are like, well, eventually they'll put it on sale.
Totally.
Yeah. Did you hear the price tag? The cost of the delay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
$22 million.
Yeah. That is, we've talked about that over the years, right? Like, oh, why don't they just delay it a week or two? All that. It's like, no, once that thing is locked and the train has left the station, like that is going to cost you $22 million to change that stuff.
Yep.
So, wow. I'm glad we got that number.
Yeah.
I love numbers. Yes. Numbers don't lie. Give me the numbers. 22 million
All
for a
right.
delay.
Unfortunately, some other numbers. Don't Nod did not have good sales with Chishant or Banishers.
This is depressing.
So they are putting 2 unannounced projects on hold,
Banishers was sick.
putting the focus on their 2 other games, hoping to get a wider audience with those. hopefully that doesn't mean they're gonna make them weird and dumb or something. Like they still make
know.
them according to their creative vision.
Yeah, their games always have a vision.
But the fact that they had 4 games still in the works after those 2 came out, just kind of like we were worried about
Yeah.
this. This is exactly what we were worried about.
I feel like it's a Telltale situation where we're on the outside looking in, like stop, slow down, and again, presuming just a presumption. It's like when they got not kicked out of Life is Strange, but like relinquished their hold on it. The company has felt desperate to make their own big franchise that they control. Mm-hmm. It just feels like they keep trying to have their own franchise that they self-publish or have full, complete control over. And too many games, like trying to just hit that, like Telltale style when Telltale was making like 7 games at once. It's just like, slow it down. It just seems like too many.
Yeah. And like, Banishers was, a little on the weaker side, and there was some.
It dragged a little bit. It was a little too long, but in the end, I was
also like
glad
some
I played it
technical stuff that was like not great with that game. Whereas Jujutsu Silent was amazing.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've got to play that yet, but
not all the way through.
Yeah, that is a really, really great game.
Yeah.
But I don't think either one of them had a lot of
IP
push behind it. I don't know if they just don't have the resources for that amount of marketing or whatever, but it's you gotta
Lost Records has got to be
in
it.
there. Yeah.
Lost Records has to be it.
I hope Lost Records does because that game is great. You know, and I'm
so excited,
ready to play more.
Yeah.
Hopefully
that just becomes their new Life is Strange. Like have it be a franchise.
Yeah. If they can make that do really well, and then they can just go back to doing the weird stuff on the side.
Totally.
Yep. The Gamers Group, that's Gamers with a U for some reason, laid off 30 more staff members from sites that include Destructoid, Twinfinite, Dot Sports, among others that they've just swallowed up over the years. Some of those folks include Eric Van Allen, Tom Hopkins, and Jamie Sharp, who is expecting a baby in 2 weeks. A lot of people are calling this out, not just because of the layoffs themselves, but just how stupidly this whole thing went down. People just got emails in the middle of the night, woke up, couldn't access their work stuff, look at their personal email. Here's an email. You were laid off. Oh, thanks, I guess.
Please don't do that.
Yeah.
Please don't fucking do that. God.
The management cites Google's changes as a lead reason for lost revenue, and pledged to focus more on quality long-form content, etc. that a lot of their former staff was telling them that they should have been doing before instead of chasing SEO.
That's funny because I saw a job posting for Destructoid a year ago that was oversee 45 article posts a week or something like that, where it's okay, you're just filling your website with AI stuff.
Yeah, I mean, in Damiani, I don't know how much you talked to her, but Forrest Minish, who used to work for one of their sites, and she had a big rant about this stuff.
Yeah, I saw that too. They were not happy about this as well and the way it was handled. So, yeah, it's not professional and it's a terrible look, and it just shows how dehumanizing it is from a high level because you don't treat your workers like people. I mean, you gotta lay them off, but you could still what's the difference between at least bringing them into the office and giving them some kind of chance.
Look them in the eyes, you cowards.
It's like what was the damn Office Space thing? They like to lay people off on Fridays. There's less chance of a corporate incident.
Yup.
It's this is that's gone too far now. It's don't even let them come back to the office. It's don't even let them have access to the website or anything. It's dear Lord. It's it goes too far.
Shout out to the jump to conclusions chart.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention the fact that I'm sure there's a fair number of those people that were working at those sites before the Gamers Group bought them. It's just oh, we need to protect our assets. And it's dude, they built that crap.
The Gamers Group, that name is cringe. Why does it bother me so much?
Because
it's spelled GAMURS. It's so weird.
Anyways.
It irrationally bothers me.
Yeah.
It's probably because it's a name for SEO.
Yeah.
They're trying to sound like gamers or something, but it was taken. So they're like, I don't know.
Anyways, if you have any job opportunities or anything, reach out to those guys for sure. Keep them in your thoughts. Behavior Interactive is acquired Red Hook Studios.
Oh.
Makers.
What? When?
Darkest Dungeon.
When?
Yeah, this week.
What?
Yeah. So that 29-member staff is now still going to basically operate independently, but they're part of Behavior.
All right, I hope this is good. I hope it's a good thing.
2 independent Canadian
All
groups
right.
powering up together.
I hope it's good. I hope Red Hook is happy. That's all I want. I just want their happiness.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Red Hook hopes to tap into Behavior's resources to make Darkest Dungeon, quote, a juggernaut of the dark fantasy genre.
Hell yeah. That is what I like to hear. Excellent. Okay. That DLC's coming. That Kingdoms mode. So excited about that. Cannot wait.
Didn't they just cancel a game? Behavior?
Yes, Behavior just did cancel a game and
That's not a good
closed the
sign.
studio, but they did offer
What?
the people at that studio jobs at Behavior. We talked about this
That's
last
right,
week.
yeah.
I remember.
last week we
Yes.
talked.
That was okay.
But remember, like, canceling that game, remember they brought everybody, the testers, the players in early, get
Yeah.
feedback,
Yeah,
and you're like,
Yep.
this isn't going to work out.
I mean, it might be the
Cut-
right choice.
Cut
yeah.
this. Cut this.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Isla, roll this. Isla, just for you.
Ah,
Lost and Colt is releasing Outer Wilds Design Works,
hell yeah.
a book written by Chris Schilling that takes a deep look into the development of the game with loads of art and interviews with the team.
PC load loader.
This
What does that mean?
crazy deluxe edition, though, has got posters, an interplanetary map, stickers, postcards, the projection stones.
Yeah, it's like a puzzle, the projections does. The travel posters alone, dude. I was like, okay, I want those.
You need this.
I already ordered this.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered it.
And there's a papercraft ship model to bring it all together.
Yeah.
But the
ordered this.
the thing with the stones, it sounds like there's some like hidden thing you can find in the book with
Oh
them.
yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Crazy.
I already ordered this.
Yeah, I
It's already
ordered it.
coming to my house.
But you did miss the signatures.
I
right?
missed the signed version.
Yeah.
I ordered the deluxe version, but I didn't get the signed version, which I'm fine with. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like,
I mean,
I
also
could
you
probably
could
track
like
them down
find
and
those
just-
guys.
Yeah, I
and
could probably just track them down and be like, "Hey, sign this, will you?" But yeah, I don't know. I love this. Is like one of the best games ever made. So whatever.
Hell yeah.
I'll whatever. Like if the trailer for your art book like almost makes me cry from the music from the game I love, like I'm probably gonna order your art book.
Right.
Super cool.
Nice. It is time for love and respect. Love and
Love
respect.
and respect.
From Egmont. Hey, allies. I don't want this to be another hot take on Astrobot, but the game does make for a good jumping off point for a challenge. Some game series. Wait, I don't quite. There's a little typo or something here. Does make for a good jumping off point to challenge some game series, being the Pandora's box of crossover fan service. Something I'm missing there. But anyways, I'm definitely on the train that crossovers are a ton of fun, and I love games that make them a big focus. But does it create a level of hype that becomes harder and harder to achieve? I think we've seen this happen with games like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Team Sonic Racing, where they walked back the number of cameos that were part of the reason that that was part of the reason that they fell flat with fans. With that lens, I worry for things like Smash Brothers and now Astrobot that they may be doomed to either keep trying to one-up themselves or ultimately step down the fan service and lose the interest of a large section of the audience. Am I wrong in thinking this is a problem for certain games, or do you agree? And if you agree, what do you think the solution is?
I mean, I don't think Smash Brothers can one up itself. So like, It's definitely going to be a problem for Smash Brothers for people who want more cameos in that. Like, it'll just get out of hand at that point. I mean, don't really need to get into where Smash Brothers really needs to go next, but I would not be shocked if it simplified and went back maybe to, like, you know, trying to maybe reinvent itself rather than relying on so many different cameos.
Right.
Whereas I will say Mario Kart feels like it's the series that is now primed to like step in and take that role because it's been building up to that. I feel like with the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe being like the old, like we do all these season passes, we're throwing on all these old courses. We keep adding more characters. I mean, it doesn't have to though. Like Nintendo absolutely does not have to do that. And I think Nintendo's probably the one developer who could probably get a little bit more away with like you expect a lot of cameos and then they don't really give it to you. It's like, oh, they weren't in there, but I still love this game. So I don't think it's going to be too terrible for them. I think they're unique in that regard, but I'm very curious about where they go next with Smash Brothers because I don't think they can one up Smash Brothers Ultimate with those crossover characters. That's just gonna be insane. I'm curious about what you all have and like, you know, what you think like Capcom and Street Fighter because you know they're beginning their crossovers. Would that be one potentially that could expand, or what do you think if they dialed it like what we had now with like Terry and company? That's it, and they never like try that again. Would you be disappointed with that? Yeah.
I mean, I think that with Street Fighter, you know, it kind of has the similar issue where it's not really about cameos, but it's like you get so many legacy fighters that people are invested in, and it's like, gotta have that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta make sure he's in there, like, you know. And so I do think that becomes a challenge. That it's like, you know, like at what point do you have too many people that have to be in a game?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. I think of like, I don't know why I thought of Uncharted 4. But Uncharted 4, like Astrobot could take a page out of Uncharted 4 by, like Uncharted 4 scaled back the set pieces, but the ones that in there were more meaningful. Like another Astrobot could scale back the cameos, but make each one matter more and have it be a bigger of a deal.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
thought.
I think with Smash, like, kind of thing I was thinking similar to that would be, like, if they did go back to, you know, like the adventure mode type of thing from GameCube or, you know, something similar to Subspace Emissary, but they made it less about, like, focusing on, like, oh, here's a cool cutscene or whatever, and more about, like, no, let's actually, like, build a level around a character, you know, and it's like it's still Smash Brothers controls, but like your Smash Brothers through like a side-scrolling Metal Gear level or something like that, you know, like that could be a cool direction to take it.
Missed that. Yeah, I missed that so much. They have not done anything remotely similar to that since Melee.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that come back.
Same.
Yeah.
I agree.
Brian from Happy Gaming asks, "Hey there, allies. Today I was thinking about Monster Rancher. For those who haven't,
Monster.
yeah,
Throwback, dude. Throwback to like middle school.
For those who haven't played it before, to get new monster creatures to raise, you'd go to a shrine where the game would have you put any disc into your system. Once it had been read, you'd reinsert the game, and the data from whatever disc you had would somehow
This shit blew
give
my
you
mind.
unique
as a kid.
creatures.
Yeah.
This was making me think about how there are interesting mechanics specific to certain games that can't really be replicated, even if the game is re-released or remade. Monster Rancher 1 and 2 did get a modern re-release with DX, for example, but it replaced this system with one that just allows you to search for existing CDs and games from the era using a database. While the convenience is nice, it takes away some of the personal attachment to putting your own mixed CDs, movies, demo discs, you name it, into the system and feeling like you had discovered something special that no one else had. Many games have gotten re-releases with these sort of alterations made because the new hardware simply doesn't work the same way compared to when it originally came out. Many DS games which utilize dual screens in interesting ways, like Zero Escape, Boktai, as mentioned on last week's podcast, DDR, or games that use motion control tech in unique ways, are reminders to me that preserving games in their original form is just as important as making them broadly accessible in new ways through re-releases. To my knowledge, the only way to use the original disc system in Monster Hunter is playing on that original console. It won't even work through emulation software. What are some games you remember utilizing interesting mechanics or ideas that can't be replicated on modern systems?
I mean, everyone's thinking Psycho Mantis reading her memory card. Come
But
on, best of all time.
That could
yeah.
be.
Best of all time.
But could that I guess is my difficult. I mean, I like that concept being difficult, but is that technically not possible to replicate? I guess.
They could just read your save files. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Their
this is where I get a
installs.
little like like more difficult. Like I was thinking of like Wind Waker and the Tingle Tuner.
Yep.
But I mean, you technically could like have an app on the Switch if like let's say Wind Waker HD port finally is real. They bring it to Switch 2 and they're like, oh, guess what? Tingle Tuner functionality is in there. Wait, how? And it's like, oh, you launch another app or whatever and you switch over to that and you can use that. And it's like, wait, oh, okay. But like, it's not exactly the same thing. So
It's
I
not
guess
quite
it's
the
a-
same, but you
would
actually
need-
you actually came up with a really good solution for
Yeah.
that, because I think a phone app like the Tingle Tuner was
Yeah,
the
that's what I meant, like
precursor
the
to like when we got the Assassin's Creed app and all that kind of thing.
You would
'Cause
need
they
Psycho
do
Mantis'
What
voice
is a
actor,
tingle
though.
tuner?
So it's the
sounds like
GBA.
something else.
It can. So back there in GameCube, had all those like crazy like. Oh, sorry.
Tingle is
Yeah.
a character in the Legend of Zelda series,
Right.
and the Tingle Tuner, you could hook up the Game Boy Advance as a controller to the GameCube.
Like it's meant to be a TV screen.
and yeah, you used it as a
Oh.
second screen
Like
to
the
like
Game
find
Gear had the
collectibles
TV
and stuff.
tuner.
I had the Game Gear
Yeah.
Same tuner.
Yeah.
And Nintendo already uses your smartphone for other things, like the voice chat, program or app that's on there. So
I just feel like
think
with
it's used
Psycho
that way.
Mantis, Damiani, though, you would need to record new lines. How would you do that? Like reading your modern day memory card. Oh, you've been playing
you
The
get a new
Last
voice
of Us?
actor. I mean, you either had the voice actor come back. It was
Yeah.
what was it? Not Phil Lamar. Who was it? That Fred. I forget their.
That Ashore?
I think yep. That was them.
Seems
and
like
then
seems like an easy thing to do, but also logistically very
Doug
difficult.
Stone.
it was Doug Stone. Okay, that was
Oh,
wrong.
okay. Yeah, I think
Unless they
Anyways.
have different like stage name or whatever, maybe. Anyway, bring them back in or get someone else to record new lines who sound similar to it. I mean,
Sure.
they did do it, Hubert. They did do it for Twin Snakes.
Yeah.
He says
Sure,
your
sure, sure.
GameCube stuff, and it's
Yeah.
like that's not in the PlayStation version.
Oh
so-
god.
Semi-different
Chat just said that they
case,
would AI
but-
generate it, and they so would.
Oh, that's true.
They totally
yeah.
would. They
With-
totally would.
With Twin Snakes, that was close. That was like way closer to the release of the first game. It was still Kojima, like easier logistically there. Whereas
Yeah.
going back now to the original Metal Gear
mean,
and
I
like
think-
making those changes,
I think
it
the
just
thing
feels.
here-
It feels like I don't know. It feels like it'll never happen
I think the thing here, though,
ever.
on this specific point is that yes, you could make a remake or remat or something like that where you redo it, but if you just play Metal Gear,
Exactly. The original.
like if you
game.
just emulate
the
it,
original.
it doesn't work. It's
Exactly.
not going to work on a PS5.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
wasn't in the collection, the MGS one, or
There's
was it?
like stock ones that he says, right?
Oh,
There's like if you didn't have any.
So you don't
save
think they could
games-
patch? You don't think it'd be possible for them to, if
I
they
think
really
they would
wanted
just-
to and had the resources to patch Metal Gear Solid 1 running on PlayStation 5 with a patch that allows it to read your PlayStation 5 save data?
I don't even think it reads
somehow.
your saves. It just reads the installed games on your hard drive. That's way
So
easier.
awesome. It'd be so-
Yeah,
It's just like
this-
oh, you've got
exactly.
Diablo 4 installed. Like,
Yeah,
oh, I
right.
see you like Diablo 4.
I feel like-
That's not. I mean, it's like I don't
Yeah.
know how to program that, but that seems easier than hacking into your save files.
I think it would. That's something doable. Even like
Oh, you could read
hardware.
your trophies. Chat suggests
Yeah.
that's true too.
Hardware related things like even like the Famicom mic talking or blowing into it to kill the Pole's voice in Zelda. They did on with the DS. You could do that in Phantom Hourglass. They didn't have it on the Nintendo in America because we didn't have the microphone functionality. So they made a different way to do it. But when Phantom Hourglass came to DS, they reinstituted that technology. So they sometimes they do make hardware that allows it, but on Switch that wouldn't be possible, to do that. So if they made, because they brought like the Castlevania DS collection to different platforms like Switch as well, and we saw how they handled that. If they'd bring like Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks over to Switch in a collection, I don't think they'd be able to do it that way because you no longer have a microphone to blow into or speak into to kill the Pole's voice. So you're going in circles here at this function. It's like, do they then do that? Like, is it as simple as that? So this is where, yeah, it's a fun question because I think you can go in like circles because like even the Boktai thing, it's like realistically you'll never see, that's not ever going to be possible. But could someone, you're like challenging the internet, could someone make some kind of like mod out there, a physical modded device that will like literally let you play it on other machines or something and it still works with the original cartridge or something somehow? Like I wouldn't like put it past someone to be able to do that. But official capacity, probably
Has
never
Dawn been
again.
found yet?
He left again. The one that I was thinking of that I experienced the like detriment of a new format was Tearaway.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
on the Vita, you could,
100%.
it took your picture and like my little face smiling in the
Your
sun.
fingers
your
coming through the
fingers
back
coming
of
through
the
back.
Vita. Yeah,
it was
dude.
awesome. And then playing it on the PS5 or whatever, you didn't have those. You had
Yeah.
some kind of like other stuff. But I was like, oh, I kind of missed that. Like
I-
that was really nice.
That's a great pick. I agree.
Yeah, the back touch is a very, very
Yeah.
unique thing on the Vita.
I was gonna say one of the greatest Mario games ever made is Super Mario 3D Land, and a lot of the reason is because that
Oh,
is
the
some
slider,
of the best
yeah.
3D I've ever seen implemented in a video game. Wherever Don is, I'm sure he would agree. Don, yeah, 10 out of 10. And it's like, how are we ever gonna
Yeah.
play 3D Land unless you're playing it on a 3DS?
Don knows about rooms in our studio that we don't know about.
Yeah,
He just kind
he's-
of like vanishes sometimes.
It's like in the walls or
Yeah,
something.
he's what are those people called? The people who live between the walls?
What is that?
It's
What
such
is
a
that?
scary idea to me.
I got a few more. One of the things that,
Frogging, yeah.
Fucking Candyman.
because I never got to play Monster Rancher, but it always, whenever I hear about this system, it reminds me of another game that I never got to play that I think only came out in Japan called Barcode Battler. Do you remember this, Dominic?
Oh yeah, I know this.
It was like
yeah.
a Game Boy game or something.
Well, yeah.
and it had, I think the cartridge or something had like a thing to scan barcodes.
That sounds so fun.
And
Holy
so,
shit.
just like
Yeah.
Monster Rancher, you would just go around like trying to get barcodes and seeing what you would get, and it would like pop out like a monster or a
That's
fighter or
so
a robot. I forget
cool.
exactly what it was that you got out of it.
So fun.
But it was something along those
Yeah,
lines.
that was I mean, there's always cool stuff like that. Even like Nintendo had like the e-reader stuff.
Yeah,
like as well.
But the
for some of
e-reader was
those.
like literally like the
yeah,
code
I know.
on a card.
Yeah, it wasn't quite the same.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and there's so many others were probably like just chat plays, like so many they know of for these
Yeah.
types of things.
Well, some other ones, Street Pass.
Well, that new 24 hertz patent for Nintendo. Maybe that means that means maybe it's a cellular. Maybe we're getting Street Pass back on Switch too, baby.
God, if you have to pay, but it'll only work if you pay for Nintendo Online, right?
Right? Yeah,
Cellular
watch it
service
absolutely will.
plan for the Switch
Oh
2.
gosh, remember
I
the
don't think
Vita
I'll
had
have
that? Cell phone plans.
Oh my
gosh.
God, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, I remember that.
Dude, you could do something like.
I mean, it worked in Japan though. Like that's what it was
Sure.
meant for. Yeah.
You could do like Pokemon Go style stuff, but in other games where, like, based on where you are. Like
Yeah.
if you travel the world with a game, it unlocks stuff. Or Shazam, put like Shazam into a game and like play a song for the game, and then the little animal in the game is like, oh, I love that song or whatever. That'd
Yeah.
be cute.
Light gun games.
Like,
Oh
games.
yeah, you can't even do those
course.
on HDTVs, right?
Yeah.
I just
those-
saw something.
The old ones
Yo,
won't
Maximilian, dude.
He,
Retweeted something the other day about some new Time Crisis home console tech, dude. I gotta do my research. I just browsed
you
for a
go.
sec. Yeah.
And then my last ridiculous obscure one, Let's Tap, which was by Yuji Naka, if I remember right.
Oh no.
let's tap.
And
Oh, let's tap.
it was a
that was
Wii
fun.
game.
Oh god.
But it came with a cardboard box that
yep.
you assemble.
I had to play this.
And
Labo.
I'd love to play it.
Labo
at game
projector.
Had
trailers.
to play this.
I had to play this.
You put the Wii remote upside down on top of this cardboard box, and then you control the whole game by tapping the box.
It's like that toilet paper game, which
Okay,
It
rules.
is. It kind of is.
I love taking these things and like just like ruining the immersion by just like picking up the dumb controller and be like, oh, so I can just do this too. I don't have to like sit here and hit the dumb box, do I?
This is why
But I
I'm
think-
afraid to play that new party game from Pixel Junk. What is it? This is why I'm afraid,
All you need
Damiani.
is help.
Yeah.
But I don't think with Let's Tap, I don't think there's an intuitive way to like cheese it. You had to. You had
Damiani
you had to do the
sees
taps.
through all cheese, dude. He is the cheese summoner.
All right, from Tuju Engi. When Nier Automata came out back in 2017, I thought 2B's design was, and still is, amazing. Yoko Taro himself has in the past, and now the team has been open that they gladly say yes to anything.
This is one of my favorite quotes
In this
in
case,
recent memory.
guest appearances for money.
Do you have the full quote?
I don't have the actual quote. They
It
didn't
is one
include
of the
it.
best quotes ever.
But it's like, yeah, like if you'll pay for it, we'll put 2B in it.
yeah, they're like, we love making money, so please put 2B in your game. Yeah.
She has appeared in many games, like Soul
at some
Calibur
point.
6, Fall Guys, Gravity Rush 2, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, and so on, as herself, as a skin,
She's in Grand Blue? Shit.
and some have even modded her into other games. So what other games would you want, expect, or would be a perfect fit
Wait,
for
did-
2B?
Yeah,
Is she
the
already-
quote, the quote is just, "We will gladly say yes
yeah.
to anything for money."
Yeah, so good. So good. So funny. Did you say Soul Calibur?
Yes.
She's already in Soul Calibur? Which one was she
Yeah,
in?
Six.
she was in 6.
She was in 6. Okay, yeah.
You
Well, I
ever,
gotta
So
get her
long
into
ago.
Smash.
you ever MLB The Show?
2B and MLB The Show. Kind of jarring. I feel like she'd be better in like a Mario baseball type instead of MLB.
Monster Hunter Wilds.
Great. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That is a really good one.
I want her in stuff that's like fucked, like Doki Doki Literature Club or like Silent Hill 2. You know, she
Yeah.
just like shows up. Things where she doesn't belong. Dead Space,
That's it.
like horror. Make 2B scary.
I mean, Stellar Blade, obviously.
she's in that.
Like,
Yeah, they just announced
they
that.
just announced it. Yeah, but like,
Mhm.
is it a skin or is it her? Or is it a costume or is it her actually?
What's the difference?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was 100% clear. I
Yeah.
assumed that it's a costume.
Okay.
But yeah, I think
So that
it's-
counts,
I
right?
think
Not
that-
her specifically, but like a skin of her.
Yeah.
Count? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they said all that stuff counts.
Okay.
If you don't already know it, there are a couple of
It's a skin for Eve, I think.
Got it.
there are a couple of cameos in Animal Well.
Nice.
Put
Of
2B
2B.
in Animal Well.
Is she in Shovel Knight yet? I mean, they both like.
I don't
are
know,
in
but
the
I would
most
not be
things
surprised.
Ever. Like they need to meet.
Animal Well? Okay. That's insane to me. In Animal Well. Okay. All right.
Mortal Kombat. I know she's already in Soul Calibur, but
Fair. I don't know if they
put her
would
in
go that-
every fighting
go
game.
that
Put her in
violent, then
Tekken.
maybe.
Put her in Street Fighter. Put her in
Tekken's
Mortal Kombat.
good. Tekken's good for sure.
Put her in all of them.
Returnal.
Sure. Yeah.
But she's the kid.
No, Returnal, but the map is
Oh, have
like
a map.
a
too?
near aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Any more? Go once.
I'm gonna have
Rude
one
Wolf
as
says-
soon as you say moving on.
Rude watched this Re2 Burnal and it made me
What's that?
Re2 Burnal. It's so
Oh,
stupid.
Returnal V2.
I got one.
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts 4.
There we go.
Ah.
I mean,
That could
one's
happen.
not even that
That's
could
not
far-fetched.
that far fetched.
Yeah.
Not far-fetched at
Kingdom
all.
Hearts 4, dude. Let's go.
All right. It's time for bets. This week's bet, Starfield Shattered Space is out next Monday. So many things. I want to know how many Twitch viewers there will be on launch day. So I'm going to check at 6 p.m. that night. Today, I checked Starfield's numbers before the podcast. It had 410 viewers. So how many will there be 6 p.m. on launch day? Damiani, Pompous Cocker Spaniel.
1001.
1001. Huber, Stealthy Centipede.
Did I make another horrible bet, man? I'm in the Dregs. I said 18,000.
18,000. Wow.
I mean, Starfield's a big game, and it's launch day. People are curious. Like, dude, this expansion too is everything I wanted the main game to be. Like, crafted worlds, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. Isla, Wet Hummingbird.
1,996, Daniel.
1996.
1996. Ow! I cut myself in the
Don,
eye.
Fashionable Manatee, what's that?
10,000.2? 10,200.
10.2. Got it. Gabby, Optimistic Rat.
1,000.
1,000
That's it.
even?
Period.
All right. And then Effervescent Hippopotamus, I went 4.1 thousand.
Best bet.
Okay.
Best one.
Last week's bet, Ara History Untold came out on Tuesday. Last week I asked which series would be referenced more
Oh, this one.
across the top 10 English reviews on OpenCritic. Would it be Civilization or would it be Age of Empires / Age of Mythology?
Ben Hansen, shout out.
How many times would it be referenced? Damiani bet Civilization would be referenced 6 times. Huber bet that Civilization would be referenced 3 times. Isla bet Civ 9 times. Dawn bet Civ 5 times. And I bet Age 8 times.
I swear to God.
I swear to God, dude.
PC Gamer,
Swear to God.
Civ 3, Age 0.
Haha!
IGN, Civ 1, Age 0. God is a Geek, nothing. Digital Trends, Civ 8, Age 0.
Holy shit, dude.
Shack News, Civ 3, Age 0. The Sixth Axis, none of them. Windows Central, Civ 7, Age 1. I got one.
You got one.
WCCF Tech, Civ 2, Age 0. COG Connected, Civ 2, Age 0. PC Games N, Civ 6, Age 0. Bringing the total to Civ 32,
Oh my God.
Age 1. Isla is the winner with the high.
Ah! Dude, I actually thought,
I think so,
why
yeah.
is this buzzing? When I said 9, I figured I'd be too low. Because I was like, almost every review is going to say it at least once, so that's at least 10.
But not. There were some zeros in
Yeah,
there.
that's crazy. Who had 8?
I bet 8 for
No,
Age.
who said it 8 times? Digital Trends.
Oh, Digital Trends, yeah.
That's bananas.
Too many times.
I also had to be I had to parse it out because sometimes people would use Civilization, not the game. And also the game has ages.
Oh, true, yes.
So I had to not count those either. Anyways, that brings our scores to 9 for the Stealthy Centipede. And 7 for the Wet Hummingbird.
Yay.
Let me tell you about patreon.com/easyallies. We're bringing you hours of podcasts each and every week. We're over 3 hours this week already. So if you are here listening, thank you so much. Everything that we've done is because of viewers just like you pitching in. So if this is worth your time, consider dropping in $5 a month. That covers not only your own listening enjoyment, but that of other people. And for that $5 a month, that gets you this podcast 2 days early. It gets you ad-free. It gets you 2 extra Love and Respect questions. You can submit to Love and Respect, and you get in our official Discord where you can vote on those top 10 scary sounds.
Sick.
Woo.
We also have our producer tiers, which do so much awesome, generous donations for us. And our platinum producers get a shout out on this podcast each and every week. This month's shout outs go to Javawabs and Elthanis. Shout out.
Shout out.
Out.
Lisa Trevor, top 3 scariest sounds of all time in a game.
The chains.
Yes.
Yeah.
Top 3.
Good one.
Scream.
We did some previews this week. We mentioned it before. but Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Huber played it.
Majima. Star of the show.
We also had another Gamescom preview slip out.
Yeah.
Dimensional Double Shift. The one VR game that I booked from the show for Isla.
I was so sick when we did this.
Oh, gosh, that's
like-
right. You were sick when
I
you
was like
started.
getting COVID, yeah.
Oh.
And I told them, I was like, hey, I'm not feeling great. And they were like, we sanitize every time. And I was like, okay, like, up to you, dude. Like, oh
Wow.
my God.
Wow. Yeah, because I specifically had booked that to be the last thing just in case you
Yeah,
got motion sick.
yeah.
But, oh. Also, next week, good guest coming. We got Jason Schreier
Damn.
coming in from Bloomberg.
Hell yeah.
He's got a book coming out.
A man
so
of numbers.
I've been
dude.
reading that
Give
book.
me all the numbers, Jason.
Your move, Piscatella.
But yeah, so he has a new book coming out about Blizzard, about the whole history, the backstory of Blizzard, everything from the start up until the modern day.
Wow.
It's called Play Nice.
We're going to pump him for information about Warcraft 4.
Sure. I'm about a third of the way through the book so far.
Nice.
But yeah, it comes out in like 2 weeks, maybe a little bit under 2 weeks now.
That's
Wow,
sick.
humble
That's-
brag.
Yeah, that's sick, Blood. That's really cool.
But
That's a good book, dude. Wow.
yeah. So we will talk about that. And he's going to be around, so we'll talk about what he's playing and all that good stuff as well.
Very cool.
Isla,
Oh,
you won that bet again.
yay.
So you get to shout out anything or anyone that's on your mind this week. You get the final word, and you get to sign off with your trademark. Sign off.
Jeez Louise. Shout out Strange Darling. This movie is pretty wild. I enjoyed it. I liked it more than The Substance. Don't at me. Final word. Was that my shout out or my final word? Final word? I forgot everything we talked about. Let's see.
Talk about Suikoden.
Yeah. Suikoden.
Talk about Keylocker.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, be excellent to each other and be nice and do everything and stop harassing people on the internet.
There we go.
All right. Good night and good game.
I don't know, man.
Bro?
Too Human is still out there.
The Easy Allies would like to thank our Patreon podcast producers. We apologize in advance for all the ally names we are about to misspell and mispronounce. Jabawabs, El Thanis, Forever Ender, Jay Shi, Jesper Popmel Dufay, Roy Sung, 44 Stars, Alexander Zirianov, Andri, Beaten Down Brian, Brandon White, Brian Kruger, Colton Piccione, Daniel Martinek, Dimitri Zetas, Douglas Chomich, Faraz Rizvi, Garrett Holfish, G. Levin, Hayden Hargraves, Jesse Blue, Jesus R., Matthew Pauling, Miguel Rivas, Mo Grant, Paul Sway, Ronka Q, Robert Stoffel, Sam Handrick, Stomps, Stepan Hakobian, The Banana Forklift Killer, Chom Nguyen, Zigazich, Anish Dor, Aaron Haney, Accounts Payable, Adam Henry, Alex Monaco, Alex Stories, Anna Croft, Anthony F., Anthrioni, Arthur Lau, Osteal, Barry Tomasini, Bradley Spees, Brian Foster, Bunny Chen, C.S. Lewis, Katie Garza, Carlos Delgato, Chief Uhu, Chris Eccles, Christopher Santis, Clay Roberts, Colin Montoot, Connell Sumlin, Corey Jackson, Corey Landega, Crumb Eyes, Culinary Stud, Cyberboa, Derry, Dan Sebring, Daniel Kozlowski, Daniel Wong, David Aniki, Enya Hink, Eric Tobias, Eric, Espen Gotchman, Ethereal Ether, Forever Ender, Forrest, Project, Gabriel Smith, Jen Woofles, Gino Elite, Gustav Strombaum, Harrison Holt McHale, Isun Chor, Ian Anderson, Jack Forrest, Jan Nicholas Frogshirt Tilk, Gerald, Jesse Fish, Jesse Wilkeson, John McCullough, Junya Motomura, Carl Williams, Keegan Boyle, Kevin Gillet, Kroldemort, Leon Keys, Linson Wu, Luis Ibarra, Lying Crown 19, Marco Hernandez, Materia Addict, Matthias Clare, Max Miller, Miguel, Nefertiti Jenkins, Nycrypt, Nick Hill Sharma, Ninja Kitty Meow, Ono Turtle, Orugachino, Pablo Rodriguez, Patrick Held, Pete Shoemaker, Pixelated, Poyan Carber, Pulphead, Ray Aldiar, Raymond Wheeler III, Reed Johnson, Richard Ma, Ritz 1906, Robert Seven Lee, Robin, Ryan Rutger, Sage Mode Q, Salvers, Samuel Copeland, SD Prima, Sebastian Trier, Servino, Sean Johnstone, Cito, Sneaky Gato, Splontot, Strikeout NZ, Sultab, Tadashi 047, Taffy 9K, Tim Stroffman, This Is My Username 1466, Tomovi Kioni, Travis Ing, Trizak, Wouter DeHaze, Yami Zetsumi, Zach Wojnar.